to roll through here to the folks. Um, while I'm waiting for confirmation and everything like that from everyone out there, I'm going to ask you guys to please go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list. Lola puts together deals and things like that, sends it out through the email list. We'll keep you guys posted on everything that's going on with us. If you are looking to score some patches, some Hank Strange swag to show off, we do have patches and you can get them there. If you're looking for t-shirts and things like that, you can get it through Ballistic Inc. and we have links to all of that. I want to thank Franklin Armory for sponsoring the show tonight. Shout out to those guys. And let's see, we'll throw Kevin Dixie up here on the screen. I think we're ready. I'm going to press the button and get this going.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation.
All right, make sure you guys subscribe, smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell so you can be notified. Kevin, you know how this goes. Let's get the jazz hands on. Come on. Get the... I'm taking blows. Taking blows from Kevin Dixie already. All right, listen, we are live. I hope you have your big girl panties on. It's Friday. It's just me and Kevin Dixie. He's here joining us. Look, check him out. There he goes.
Hello.
Still wearing red, even though he's in Atlanta. I don't know what Atlanta colors are.
It don't matter. I'm repping wherever I go.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kevin Dixie and myself tonight, and you guys, of course, so we could take questions. We could do all of that kind of stuff. This is episode 614 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Like I said, Kevin Dixie of NOC, No Other Choice Firearms Training. Boom, there you go. Don't forget to smash those thumbs ups and share this for all the folks out there, okay? We appreciate it. We'll try to keep this lively and fun for everyone out there. Diximus Maximus.
Yeah, man.
What's up with you, man? What's going on?
I can't complain, man. Recently my body just said stop. The last 6 months have been really, really hectic, with the move and all the other things that the world's been going through. And, I've still been training throughout the process. And this week my body said, oh, you ain't gonna sit down? Oh, okay. And it hit the off switch on Tuesday. So
really?
I'm now getting back to being able to even stand the bright light. Like I was just like in the house, like my head was throbbing. I was out of juice. And that's what you get, man. You got to take care of yourself. So right now, a few days later, feeling a lot better, got my energy back, and just looking forward to addressing all the
stuff going on.
Stuff's going on in the world, man.
Yeah. Well, let's address your things first. Like I said, man, we could talk about whatever you want to. And I was thinking about this, and I told Lola, I think she had you planned to come on, and I was like, you know what? I think really when Kevin comes on, it should just be me and him. Because I know when there's other people, we all get into all kinds of different conversations, and I feel like sometimes, especially when it comes to, you have stuff to say. Maybe we don't get to everything, or we don't cover things. And from my point of view, it's not that I'm not trying to do it. We just get into stuff. So I'm totally open to whatever you want to talk about, what you want to talk about to the people, what the people want to know from you. I think we should start with the move, right? So if people don't know this, you are you in like witness protection? What exactly happened that you left St. Louis?
I ain't running from nobody. You just gonna have to catch this smoke. No, I have recently relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, or a suburb thereof. So Atlanta's the city that's 10 minutes from me. And that's, I would love to tell everybody that it's like some tactical reason, or I came to dominate the market, or, anything that sounds really cool and like Pinky and the Brainish. You know what I mean?
Like there was a strategy, power move.
Man. No, I literally did this to support my wife in her career move.
Okay.
She had an opportunity for career growth, and
awesome.
It was here. And so I'm privileged and blessed due to support of a lot of people chatting with us now to be able to do where I can do what I do anywhere from the country. So I decided to pick up the family. We all got 1,000% behind her, and we made a move in support of her career. So that's why we came down here. Now that I'm here, I'm going to take it over. But that wasn't part of the plan.
No, I think it'll work out good in a lot of different ways. And by the way, I'm pretty proud of you and your wife and your whole family. I mean, you guys are professionals. You know, you're very serious about each other and the kids. You know, I realize like what that takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's cool, man, and I really do admire the fact that you made this move, especially on her behalf, knowing that you probably both have family back in St. Louis or Missouri that you had to separate from. I mean, obviously we're living in a modern world. You can still do things, but I know that's tough for people, right?
Yeah, I'm a loner by nature, man. Only
Mm-hmm.
because of my background, being
Mm-hmm.
tossed around from foster carers and
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of jazz and moving every 6 months. I'm really not attached. I got really, one family member that I have a diehard loyalty to,
Mm-hmm.
a blood family member anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom ain't lived in my city for 20 years, so
Okay.
it wasn't really hard for me. To me, it was. And I think this is something to do with all the traveling too, man. It was just like, all right, another city, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a real big deal, but for my wife though, it was a tremendously difficult. Everybody in her family is there,
Mm-hmm.
and that is my family too. It's just I don't, have the same kind of knee deep attachment.
Mm-hmm.
But see her have to go through kind of the withdrawals. It's just a matter as a husband, it's just a matter of making sure you help manage those things as best as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
I quickly got here. I came down a week before them
Mm-hmm.
because I understood that her family was going to want to come immediately. So I got down here before them about a week. I did all the manual labor. Actually, I'll be very honest. Eric, Iraq veteran,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple buddies, they came right over to help me
Oh,
move
cool.
in.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good of him, man. I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciated his help. He's been
Yeah.
nothing but since
They're
he heard
not
I was
bad
coming.
dudes. They're not bad dudes, man.
No. Even when we were at Waffle House, we started, discussing the issues, just having some damn food. But
What
I mean,
you
look,
and
man,
are you trying to say that Eric had some issues to discuss? Of course, you guys
he never
always,
forget
huh?
about anything. Now,
Huh?
does he?
Huh?
That's like me. I never get loud. I mean, no, absolutely not. He
Right,
seems,
right, right.
but yeah, he came down and helped.
Yeah.
Ken Scott's been a big blessing to me. Ken's, that's a brother of mine.
Provectus,
He's been a
is
big
that
blessing to me.
is he
Uh,
Ken's from Provectus, right? Am I
Yeah,
saying
this
that?
guy from Protective Group. Yeah,
Yeah.
he well, and I'll tell you too, man. This is one thing I love as much as
Mm-hmm.
I harp and get on the
Mm-hmm.
gun community. And me and Ken, we transcend way beyond guns.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was coming down here, one of the biggest problems I've had, if you've never moved cross country,
Mm-hmm.
that has its own challenges. But try moving cross country with guns
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a secure place to store them because financially it's almost it's costing you money to move any kind of quality
You
safe.
could have always left them in my house.
Yeah, and see,
Man.
you I don't trust. So that was
Dude, in these days, I will put those things on Gunbroker so fast,
yeah, I know you would too.
and I will advertise this belongs to Kevin Dixie. Extra cost on it.
But Ken actually, man, was gracious enough to let me, like, I paused his studio building and everything in his house, but he
Mhm.
put his own business projects on hold just to store my items.
Cool.
Like, so when I say that it's been nothing but love and support, Rob Pincus has been nothing but super supportive, not right shooters. I
Mhm.
mean, South River Gun Club, Kodachrome, the Black Packers. I would love to be able to tell people and complain about something, but just as much support as I gave my wife through this transition, the gun community gave me tenfold that.
Awesome.
Uh,
I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations to everyone that stepped up and helped you out. That's cool. I'm glad you didn't call me to help you move because I hate moving now.
oh, dude, I found out how cheap movers are. That's game
Yeah,
over.
just pay the
Never-
movers.
Dude, did you know how cheap movers? Like, okay, so I use the pack rat pod things.
Yes, I
Right.
saw. Yeah, because I saw someone delivering those pods to you. Yeah, I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw you threw up a video of that. Yeah.
And first of all, the mechanisms, especially the one that pods use, is mesmerizing. That thing is weird.
It's like
but
was it?
aw-
Yeah, was it like remote control or something?
Yeah, it's got a gearbox on it that he steers it from,
Mhm.
but it walks off the truck and he walks this box that moves in all kind of weird ways to go do stuff. And then he picks the things up and he just walks it back to the truck.
Mhm.
And it just sits on a flatbed truck and drives off. It was
Mhm.
really, really interesting.
Cool.
But Yeah, I did that, dude. And,
Hmm.
actually, one of the biggest containers, it was delivered first, and I got to give Eric his props. Eric and his associate, he brought his props, man. We unloaded what was that? I think that was probably a 16-foot, 16 by 9 or 10
Hmm.
um, trailer in probably an hour and a half. And mind you, we got 3 stores.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a lot of hard work, but no, it was great. Do pods, do that, and look, here's another thing.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, hire some movers. I didn't know movers had got that reasonably priced. I was
Yeah.
able to hire dudes for as low as $40 an hour.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not bad. That's not bad.
bring 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Hell,
For the
3
muscle.
stores. I'm not about nope. I was
Yeah.
like, cool. It's gonna be great cardio, right? I was like,
Mhm.
cool. I can do the cardio. So up and down, 30, 40 times was not a big deal. But you get to 3 days of that crap, and
Mhm.
next thing you know, start reminding you you're not 25 anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's a big deal. There's some comments coming in here. Let me hit you up with those. Let's see here. Who do I start with? Let's see. Night Train said from St. Louis to Atlanta, out of the pot into the fire. Johnny Kamikaze says Katie making dreams a reality. Flying Rich says no creamy white filling tonight. You're getting all chocolate. This is this is what is it? Chocolate explosion? No, what do they call it when it's like the thing is all chocolate? I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. Overdose. Overload. Oh yeah, I carry my revolver in single action, says watch your butt in ATL. Joking.
now,
I don't know if that's
might-
literally huh? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, DC2 Megaboo says KD in the house. Brick says I follow Provectus group. He seems like a cool guy. He is. I've known him for a while. I might have known him longer than you. I don't know if he introduced us. I believe if I go back in my brain, you like reached out to me over Shot Show.
Me and you ran into each other on the floor of one of the NRA shows.
Someplace, but yeah.
And I did a spot interview. I asked you to stop what you were doing to do an interview.
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
to chase
yeah.
you around for minutes, but
Exactly.
I don't think I knew. I don't think I knew of. I don't think I actually had met Ken at that point.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. See, I'm not good with any kind of stuff like that. So if people are with me, I definitely introduce them. But I'm not super good with networking outside of that. I can function really well when I'm in that mode and there's like a whole bunch of people. I'm like, oh, here's so and so. You should meet this person. But outside of that, I am very how can I put this? Introverted. So, that's how it goes, huh?
Go for that. Oh, I did a thingy too. I did a Hank.
What did you do?
Well, not on Hank's level, so let's not get it twisted.
Oh, okay. I don't. Did you get a car? I'm trying to figure out which.
And I treat myself to a new car.
Okay, nice. What you get?
I bought a Lincoln MKS.
Okay, nice.
No, I like that.
So
thing.
isn't that what's the name of the guy? Doesn't Matthew McConaughey do the commercials for those?
Hey, look, Hank.
Are you saying? Wait a second.
As soon as I bought the car, I had to watch Lincoln Lawyer.
Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on a second here. Kevin Dixie, are you trying to explain to me that Matthew McConaughey's Mojo, those weird commercials worked on you?
Hey man, I'm not saying anything, but I mean, if you're gonna follow a white guy, why not him, right?
You've seen those commercials, right?
They are they're very,
It's weird.
But it's weird. It's actually kind of strange that that commercial had nothing to do with me buying. So I'm gonna tell you I was gonna buy it. And this is how I ran into it. I never paid attention to a Lincoln MKS, right? Never paid attention to the car at all. I was looking for a Chrysler 300.
Okay.
One of the later models, and one with some bells and whistles on it. And as I was looking into the price, and I'm like, see, I'm a very honest person. So I looked at the 300, which also got me looking at some of the Chargers and also got me looking at some of the Challengers.
Hellcat.
300. And I'm like, not only are the cars too expensive, in my opinion, I'm going to be another dude moving to Atlanta
with a 300 Chrysler 300
I'm like,
or a Challenger. It's true.
It'd be just so many of them damn cars around. Now some of them are really nice. You see a bunch of what the Demons. I've seen several Demons.
Yeah.
You've seen several of those, and
I had a Challenger at one point. I had a Scat Pack Challenger, which was cool. You know, I mean those look like true. If you want to talk about the muscle cars, like out of Mustang, Camaro, and the Challenger actually looks like an old school muscle car, modernized. I think the Mustang looks the best, and just in terms of the whole design of the Mustang is awesome. Camaro, I don't know, not a I kind of like, huh?
What is a Camaro?
A Camaro, you know what that is from Chevy.
A Camaro? They make a
Camaro. Oh,
Camaro.
What do you say? Camaro, whatever. Anyway, Challenger looks awesome, but all of those now, there's like, one of the things for me when it comes to cars, I don't like to have a car that everyone else has. So, for example, I live in Florida. Everyone, their mama and their grandmama has a Mustang. So, even though I like Mustangs, I probably wouldn't get one right now. Right? So it would have to be like just maybe a super classic Mustang that somehow you did something to it to make it look different. Because I think it goes back to what you were just saying. You don't want to roll necessarily like everyone else, especially us. We're like stylish guys, you know.
Yeah, man. I needed something a little different. But then when I was on the website, you know, it pops up like I was on. I think Car Gurus is the website I was on at the time, and it popped up, you know, other suggestions in your area type crap, like whatever. And I looked over there and it was like Lincoln MKS.
Which Lincoln MKS did you get? What color? So we can stalk you.
It's all black. It's black on black with mahogany wood trimming.
Okay, Lincoln. What is it?
MKS.
MKS. Black, right?
Yep. Black with black interior, mahogany wood trimming. It is. I got the 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost.
Oh, okay, so that's a car. That's not the SUV one.
No, it's a car. I think that's the MKX.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
No, it's the car. 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost. It is it's all wheel drive. It is
That's nice. Okay, I'm gonna respect that right there. All wheel drive. Let's see. I'm just trying to throw something up here on the screen. Why is this Amazon thing coming up right now? Why is Amazon trying to advertise to me? Yeah. So let's see here. Where was it? Boom. Okay, I'll throw this up here for you guys to see. So MKS. I think these are cool. Did you modify it or anything like that?
No. I bought it pre-owned, and the guy that had it before me put some all black rims with some chrome trimming on it.
Okay, cool.
So really, if I can get the factory rims, if I ever catch a dude just like he wants to upgrade, I'll be like, well, I want to downgrade, and we can just do an even swap. I'm just not.
I guarantee you could get those factory rims, man. Probably on Craigslist or something like that if you want to. I don't change rims nowadays either. I used to back in the day. Yeah,
but the interesting thing about this car, I'm telling you what, it is a fast little thing. So the Raptors have the 3.5 liter engines in them. Mm-hmm. That car has the same engine.
Oh, cool. So
yeah, that thing is it moves, man, and it's comfortable too. My son thinks he's rich because it has a sunshade in the back, so you can hit a button and it lets up the shade in the back. Mm-hmm. You know, it's really nice. And I've driven my truck is 15 years old. Mm-hmm. My car that I had before I got that one was also 15 years old, and I was fine with that. Mm-hmm. My wife has the newer vehicle, right? So her truck had all the bells and whistles and stuff. Mm-hmm. But to me, hell, I was like, okay, I'm finally catching up with modern times. Like, I don't have to put the key in the ignition now. Yeah. Awesome is the part kind of freaked me out though, man. I thought it was malfunction. I was driving down a dark road in South Carolina, and the high beams came on by themselves, so I cut them off. I was like, stop doing it. I'm like, stop doing it.
Because it's got the lights. It's got a light sensor.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like I said, I'm driving 15-year-old vehicles. I don't know these things exist. And I'm driving down the street. Next thing I know, I see a car coming. I'm like, yep, about to get cursed out because these damn high beams are on. And then all of a sudden,
Shuts
the beams
off.
went,
Yep.
and the wipers came on by themselves. So I'm really.
You think it's a ghost? It's haunted?
Yeah,
Dad, how old school are you, man? You sound like my dad or something.
even when I rent cars, they don't ever come with all that crap in them, right? So to me, I'm like, all right, but I'm an old heavy truck dude. Like I don't ever need all the bells and whistles of hell. I had a Magnum. That was what I sold to buy this. I had a Magnum, but it was just base model, man. I'm not the car guy I used to be. I used to have fancy candy paint, big rim sound systems and all that. But now I'm not. But the fact that the headlights move.
Oh, so when you're turning, it turns, it goes on the curve.
Yeah, like turn with the car. It parks itself. Oh, okay. Like, all right. So I've officially.
It's a Lincoln, bro. This is what we expect from a modern Lincoln these days, which is cool. Yeah.
I know.
Brick says MKS with all-wheel drives is super fast. Did they put turbos on that engine?
Yeah, it's got twin turbo.
Very nice.
Twin turbo EcoBoost. It is. Yeah. Look, man. Like I let the wife drive it when I brought it home because I went up to I was in St. Louis when I got it, but I went up to Chicago to buy it. That was the best deal I can find. Quick 30-second story. Not even 30 seconds. 15 seconds. See, this is what car dealers get. I went on a car dealership lot, right? I was like, yo, and I was looking at one, and they wanted, I forget the exact price, but whatever the price was, I was like, all right, from research, it's a little bit too high. So let's see where y'all willing to meet after I drove it. Point out some things about it I ain't like. I'm like, all right, let's go talk. These fools get me in the office and say, first treated me like, and I'm not trying to say it was a racial thing. They just didn't treat me like a valued customer, right? And
this was at Lincoln, okay.
The customer service was on point, right? Like the dude's talking to me about the car, his boss calls him away from me, like, oh, I'm nothing? All right. So then I leave the parking lot and I go, I'm like, all right, they don't want to talk to me because dude was like, yeah, this is our best price. We're not budging from it. Well, whatsoever. And we don't know. And this is what he hit me with. And we don't know, if the issue is you can't get financed at this price and you're trying to bring it down or what the deal is. And I looked at him, I said, that's interesting you would say that. I'm not financing nothing. I'm going to buy it cash, but I'm going to go buy it cash from Illinois. And so I did. I drove up to Illinois the next day, negotiated with those guys on the phone, got up there, dropped cash for the car and drove it back. But the wife got in the car and took it a block and won't drive it again.
Why?
Fast.
Too fast?
It's too fast. Now, we're talking about somebody, when I get in her truck, her average speed, imagine she also drove her truck from Missouri to Georgia. Her average speed said 27.2 miles per hour.
No way. No way.
I will take a picture and send it to you. It says 27.2 miles an hour for her average speed.
She's driving Miss Daisy already? Yeah, okay. She likes to go slow.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say what I have not done in the car because I don't know if my insurance company is watching. But
twin turbos, man. All-wheel drive. I keep trying to tell people, Kevin Dixie, tell the people, all-wheel drive. All the power goes to the wheels. If you don't understand the concept.
Look, if y'all not up on all-wheel drive, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. My SUV is all-wheel drive all the time, and so is my car. Like that to me. It's no better.
That's what it's all about.
Maintain if something goes wrong, but it's worth it.
Yeah, that's how Audi really got me, man. That's like you go on the gas, it gets up, it moves. So So I'm guessing like nowadays as a guy, you're prioritizing your money. Are you spending more money after family bills and things like that? How does your money spending go? Guns above all things. And then stuff like cars and all that. What's the?
With me, man, it fluctuates. So I get yelled at all the time about being. I am a true family first guy. I won't eat. I know they can eat first, right? It's just kind of my mentality. But I've been getting yelled at about making constant sacrifices for everybody else and not taking myself into consideration. So all that is now starting to change a little bit, even where the car came from. It's like, yeah, I've been working I don't know, long time,
Mm-hmm.
hard,
Mm-hmm.
year, and I've never bought myself a
How
car.
old are you?
I'm 41.
41.
I know I've
Okay.
been working since I was 14, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never like, even since I've been married, like it's always been about her. Like my truck, when I bought my truck, was 8 years old. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
never been, it's all about making sure everybody else is okay. So the reason why I say that fluctuates is because I'm like, well, I'm going to Atlanta, traffic's gonna suck. I want to be comfortable. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just saying it out loud, and I was like, hey, honey, I think I want to buy a car. And she was like, you should buy yourself a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even understand why we're having this conversation. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, it was like pulling teeth, because as a dad, I'm just like, all right, but hold on. Do the kids have everything they need? Is the
Mm-hmm.
house a savings account? Have you been doing everything that you want to do? Because she's like a life coach, and we had to pay for all these different
Mm-hmm.
certifications for her. So I'm like, do you have everything you need? And then finally, she just yelled at me, like, just please get out my face. And
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm
so,
I'm glad I'm glad she pushed you in that direction, man. Because you probably, and it's, you're gonna be really busy too. So
yeah,
kind of, you're in the middle of a lot of different things. You're gonna probably be on the road more, all that kind of stuff. I think it benefits you to get something cool.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and I also have to where I'm going to spend a lot of my resources, money included, and things like that, because of where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a simple layout, and just the demographic around me. We're going to have a lot more range footage. I'm able to do a lot of collaborations easy now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 30 minutes from Ken Scott. I'm 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes from my Eric Veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I got the guy Doc Hollywood Actual. You know who he is?
Doc Hollywood. No.
Dude, I'm gonna have to hip you to him. This
Okay.
dude's, his whole thing is just,
There's a lot of people in the Georgia area.
yeah.
There's
Uh,
a lot of folks. I just had someone come down to visit me that's in Georgia, Patrick Collins. I don't know if you know who that is. I always run into him at SHOT Show and stuff like that. By the way, I see that Richard Hughes is asking if you're planning on going to the IV 8888 Range Day this
if
year.
invited, if
Yeah.
invited, yeah.
Well, I mean, if he was helping you move, I'm pretty sure you're invited.
Yeah. I don't see that's supposed to be in
Yeah.
October. I don't. Let's see
Yeah.
what the rules are in October, though. I mean, you never know. I just got an email before we got on here that
Hmm.
one of my October events, one of my speaking engagements, was canceled. So
Hmm. Yeah, this is a weird thing. We should probably talk about this a little bit here. I'm guessing that Brandy and Eric are in charge of that range event, and I do think that obviously they care about people's health and well-being and everything. But they're pretty much the ones in charge of that, and most of that's outdoor. So I'm assuming that it's gonna go off as planned. But when you look at a lot of other things, I'm not so sure. Like if I asked you, what do you think of the odds that we actually have SHOT Show next January? What would you say?
man, I'm at best 50-50 right now.
Mm-hmm.
To
Mm-hmm.
the point, I'm not confident enough where I normally book all my stuff around this time of the year just to get the better rates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not confident enough to even book it. I might book my
Mm-hmm.
flight because they're cheap as crap right now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I
But you
don't.
you want to make sure that you can cancel from that. Hotel rooms and things like that. I think are easier. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'm probably 50-50 on it, and depending on news and things like that comes out. Someone told me, I'm looking it up right now as we're speaking, but someone told me that CES for 2020 was canceled. I don't want to just say that like it's truth without looking it up here. Oh, yeah, it looks like it was canceled. TechCrunch says 3 days ago. I'll throw this up on the screen. So TechCrunch says CES cancels Las Vegas event and goes online only. Okay, so if you guys don't understand that, CES is the biggest show. Period. It's number one, the biggest show that goes down in Vegas, and I think it's literally the week before SHOT Show usually. Let me check. Let me double check on that. So if that's getting canceled, then I'm wondering what else. What else is going to get canceled. So
Yeah, people got to remember too. It's not up to NSSF. It's up to Las Vegas.
hmm
So
yeah, yeah,
it's put parameters on. There's nothing they can do about it.
yeah. So that's the thing. Like I think we might have events that that's not so much up to. First of all, you got NSSF. You do have Las Vegas. You have Nevada as well, making rules here. SHOT Show is not the biggest one. I'm not. Let me see. Where would SHOT Show be? It's probably in the top 5, I think, in terms of size of shows that go down in Vegas. But there's a lot of people coming from overseas for that show. A lot of people coming from all over the country for that. It's usually very crowded. So even if it goes on, how are they going to limit the crowds? And we're talking about supposedly a closed show, even though I don't know that's really, industry only.
If you get record low numbers, right? So let's just say you only get 50,000 people, right, to show up. That's 50,000 people. Well, no matter how you feel about the virus, whether you think it's overblown or you think it's underplayed, doesn't matter. There's 50,000 people who are there to touch and feel on things, who are there to have meetings,
shaking hands,
hands, and so. We already had the SHOT Show crud before coronavirus was
that near killed some people in past years. Yeah,
I got the SHOT Show crud. My first year I went, I'm telling you, I was down for 9 days. That was no punk. So if that kind of this normal bacteria, whatever, is going around, now when you add in that risk and then you add in coronavirus, it's kind of like 50,000 people crammed into a convention center that are going around to touch and feel on things. And if you say, I'm going to go, I'm not going to touch anything, well, why'd you go? Like that's pointless, right? So I think it's, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be interesting because all the medical reports, the medical experts are saying that we're going to have a next boom of it right around the time.
I mean, it's going to be flu season.
Flu season, right. So they're saying it's going to come back up. But these are also the same medical experts that said when it gets midsummer, the virus is going to kill off because of the heat.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust the medical experts. Scorched Earth Firearms, Rod Mills, says he canceled his SHOT Show hotel last week. So, I agree with Kevin. I think this is 50-50 right now. That CES news is kind of tilting me more in the direction of not happening. So if other big conventions, I don't see I'm not happy with the politics, but I don't see that they cancel shows like that and then they let the gun guys have their way. I just don't. Doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. So,
interesting.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. So let's see. What else? What else is going on here, man? What's the thing?
Talk about some light stuff. Then I know we got some heavy stuff to get into.
Yeah.
Real quick. So.
Yeah.
I am, and I'm probably going to talk to you off camera about this a
little
bit more.
Okay.
But I did this series, and I know a lot of people will watch it, called Stogies and Straps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you go live on IG for that, right? Yeah.
I did it for probably a month and a half, and it was wildly popular, like more popular than I expected, right? So. That confirmed to me, it was kind of a beta test. And I think that the ability to host and have dialogue and conversation with people is something I've never been bad at, but understanding how to do it in this format is a little bit different than talking to somebody over a beer, right? But I wanted to combine it. Like, well, what if we can just talk over a stogie and be gentlemen and just have a discussion, right? So I've had four different offers for a podcast since Stogies and Straps. So I'm considering it, but I got to figure out how to. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I got a family to feed. I got to figure out how to monetize it.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be millions. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You're talking about,
Trust me, it's not millions. If you want to spend money, it's a good way to spend money. I think it's. I'm not trying to discourage you. I think it's definitely worth it. I see lots of people going in that direction nowadays, and I think especially with everything going on now, in a lot of ways it works, right? But depending on how you do it, it's going to be something that it's going to cost. And then you have to figure out all the different things to make the numbers match up and make it worth it, something that you're going to run long distance with, I think.
Yeah, and all those things. That's why I'm always cautious about doing things. I normally sit on them for a while because when I get into something, I want to be vested. I just think for me, even though I understand that it's a polluted market right now, I think for me, I'm a big fan of whenever you see something and you can complain about it. If you don't have a suggestion, you should just, shut up.
Yeah.
So
I don't
things
think
like,
I don't think the market's too crowded, by the way, and I'm
you know,
just no. I would not say it's too crowded. There's lots of people, and ultimately, the way I look at things is, I think that you have to create, and then the people are going to make the choice based on themselves and how you reflect to them, right? On whether or not they want to consume what you're doing. What I would say is that it's depending on what exactly you're planning on doing, it's not really an easy thing to do. So, for example, we're doing this typically 5 days a week, and we're doing it for 2 hours. So right now, tonight, I think is 614th episode, right? And we've probably been doing this about 3 years. And Lola asks me about this all the time. She's like, what's the plan here? And I'm like, I don't think we're going to really get started until we hit 1,000. She's like, really? And that's really the way I look at it. And don't take that from me. If you listen to Joe Rogan talking about this, which he's one of the biggest guys doing this, right? At least top 3. And he says the same thing. Once you start getting to that point, you'll get a lot more people listening. If you look at what this is, it's really like a modern day radio show. Okay, and this live part that we're doing, we probably have, I don't know, with YouTube suppressing everything around here, we don't even have 70 people watching us live right now, but we do have, that's still like a party.
right.
Right? We still have 70 people out there right now. So you have that. And the people are here interacting with us, which is the way I particularly do it. But then you're stripping out the audio, you're putting it up there. You'll have to do things to get people to start picking up and listening to that. Mostly it's people listening to it in their cars and stuff, and that's all over the world. What I've noticed now, like I was looking at it the other day, and I think in the last month we had 100 people downloading in Germany. And people in England and Italy and stuff like that. And those, I've just started to notice those international numbers ticking up. But it's just one, and then people, when they listen to this audio, they typically listen to half or all of it versus the people who are going to come in here and actually watch this live. They might come in for 20, 30 minutes and go out, come back, that kind of thing. Some people listen to it later. So it's this whole complicated thing that it's more like a marathon, I think, versus if you look at the traditional thing in our game of social media, either on YouTube or even with Instagram, where it's kind of like a sprint. You want to make this really cool video and hope a lot of people see it, or you're posting something on Instagram and you're trying to get a whole bunch of people to see it right away, and that's what floats it up. This is kind of the market, the person out there listening, they want to hear real conversations, long format, and they want to connect to you, and it takes time for all of that to get done. So this whole long thing I'm saying is to tell you why I don't think it's overcrowded. I think a lot of people jump into it and start doing it thinking, oh, this is going to immediately pay off. But the other day I was listening to Joe Rogan, and this is a famous dude we're talking about, right? We all know Joe Rogan. We've seen him do a lot of things. I've probably been looking at Joe Rogan do stuff for 30 years, at least 20. And he said when he first started doing this, they were lucky if they got 200 people tuning in live when they were doing it. Today it's a completely different thing, man. He goes live, and depending who it is, they could have something like, I don't know, 10 million people watching them live.
That's crazy.
But it's a long run. I think right now he's in the 1,600 of episodes. So that's the thing I'm saying to you. I think if you have that stamina, if you're that serious kind of person, which I know you are, and you can do that, or anyone trying to do it, then it's not overcrowded. Because a lot of people will jump in thinking it's that easy to do, but once they realize what it really takes to run a marathon, they're going to drop out. So obviously me as a fat guy, a reality marathon, I cannot run, right? But, for doing this the way that it's done, I think, that's the thing. So whether you decide to do just once a week starting out, the thing is as easy as that might seem, doing that once a week is is kind of a tough deal. But even what you're doing now, a lot of times, when I look at what you're doing on Instagram, you might think, oh, okay, today there's nothing that anyone's going to want to hear from me on. Then boom, something else happens in the world. People want to hear from you, right?
Right.
And they want to see what you think. So it's a long distance thing, and I think that's lots of what you've been doing since I've known you. I don't know how many years. How long have we known each other now?
I think about 4.
About 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 4, maybe.
So a lot of people trying to do this in this time, when you look at it, there's people who have not necessarily say fallen by the wayside, but they haven't gotten to where they think they want to get, and they get discouraged. I don't think you've gotten to where you want to get, but you're not discouraged. I think that's the important thing.
I got you. Yeah, it's to me, it's just about exploring different avenues. I know one thing that I desire to hear is always good conversation and dialogue, even about tough subjects where people are fighting, before I can actually hear the different viewpoints, right? Where it can just be a discussion back and forth, and to be able to bring people to a comfortable format to where they don't feel attacked, even if you are getting the information that the crowd wants to hear. So it's definitely going to be something I'm going to take a serious glance into and probably get into it.
Yeah.
On the other note, I did hat things.
Okay.
So we've By
the way, smash those thumbs ups out there, people. That does help what we're doing here. If you're interested.
At this NOC hat here, you can see that the profile of the NOC thingy is like that. So we've gotten these new ones where you can see that the profile is much bigger. Hold on, move it over here.
Okay.
So the profile is much bigger. We got a better fit of hat. The back's still the same. Be prepared. But I've started to play with more colors. So
okay, if
you were bold, hey, I don't know, man. You might be this kind of fresh and clean cat.
White. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, if
that
you
looks
got,
good.
If you got,
that's more my flavor than red, to be honest with you. That? Yeah. I'm kind of shy, man. I'm kind of laid back and undercover kind of dude.
I thought about them too.
Oh, nice. That's a nice camo.
For the camo crowd,
Yeah.
This one is still one of my favorites. I did for the Irish.
Okay, that one's glow in the dark.
Yeah, I like this green, man. I really like that one. That one, and we got obviously the black.
Right. So where do people get these if they're looking for these? Where do they go?
You go over to noc-wear.myshopify.com and click. I haven't uploaded these yet because I just picked them up today. But if you click any hat, it lets you leave a comment. Just leave a comment and say, hey, I want the green one with the gold trim or whatever the case may be. I will get these up over the weekend, though.
I think my favorite, I'm going to say I like the white one and the camo.
The white and the camo?
Yeah. I'm starting to become more and more camo living in the country. By the way, before I forget this, man, so since you're closer now, you can definitely make plans to come down here and do stuff. I know you've come down to the Hacienda and done stuff with me. And I'll make plans to drive up there too, man, and do some stuff with you.
All right, it's all good, man.
Yeah, now that we're,
Thought about the ladies too.
So, purple,
right. Or guys. Look, whatever.
Why didn't you do purple and gold, man?
Because I'm trying to see how some of the flavors are working out first.
Okay, yeah. Brick says camo. And Kermit Loves Bacon says, are the hats available in fitted? That's
they're all fitted.
They're all fit. There you go. Okay, so
and the black on black joint, which is the most popular one that I have.
Oh, okay. Nice. Boom. Is there a gray on gray? Gorillas and Guns says, I want the black and green, Katie. So there you go.
All right. Well, you over there, click it, and order it, and I will get it shipped.
Where? Tell me this again. Let me pull up the website here. Let me. This Amazon crazy. I don't know how this. I don't know why I found this that car on Amazon. But so what's the website?
It's noc-wear.myshopify.com.
Okay, NOC-where as in a location?
No,
Or
where my
WEAR, of course. What am I?
are.
Yeah. Uh, dash where what slash Shopify?
Nope. NOC dash where
Mm-hmm.
dot myshopify.com.
My Shopify. Let's see if we find it like that. And okay, so there's no the HTTP doesn't have the S. I'm assuming because
Could be.
I know that's a thing. Okay, cool. I found it. I found it. Here we go. Be
So
able
yeah,
to.
and that will be that's where you can find everything for right now. In about 30 days, everything is going to be migrated over to
Yeah.
my own site that I'm having built now. Better
Yeah.
upgrade site for training and stuff.
Yeah. Lola put a thing for it up there in the. By the way, so I like the intro here, and then you could scroll through, and then you'll see all of Kevin Dixie's stuff going on in there. You guys are looking for it. So it's NOC dash where.
There.
Yeah, where dot myshopify.com for people listening on that are just listening on audio. So there you go.
Yep. And everything, like I said, just go over there for right now for the hats and things. But no other choice. NoOtherChoice.com will be up here shortly. .net, I'm sorry. It'll be up shortly with everything upgraded. I'm migrating over. I'm going to start being stingy with myself. I'm gonna take everything over to my own platform and
Mm-hmm.
consolidate, serve the people better, more clean. I want it to be where you can easily do everything from one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Engage,
Mm-hmm.
get merch,
Mm-hmm.
training. I want everything in a more. I wanted everything just in a single source, right? You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
keep jumping off the damn place going to get
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It gets crazy.
Yeah, it does.
You
And
know.
we're late, right? We don't like clicking more than one or two buttons. After that, you lose. We're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, it's the way. I mean, and also, I'm not sure if this applies to what you're saying, but I think ownership, like for us, we've pushed up doing the .com more just because we have ownership over that. Like I don't have any ownership over however many people are subscribed to me on YouTube / Hank Strange. I don't. Same thing with this channel. Same thing with whatever social media I have. It seems awesome, but I don't own it. And if they block my access to that, I don't have anything I could do. I can't reach out to those people. And that's why we're seeing a lot of things going on out there in the world around social media. But this, to me, is a better solution. Like, have one place people could go to. That's a central place that they know. Even if nothing's going on, tell them about it, because if something goes down, they know where to go look for your stuff, and you can easily put up there like, hey, this is where we're at now, or what we're doing. So,
And I'm gonna work on it longer term to
Mm-hmm.
where I'm gonna be putting out videos that I feel that I know, not even that I know that people need to see. So I will be uploading my video series from the beginning there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna walk you through from the thought process of should I own a gun,
Mm-hmm.
all the way through your first purchase,
Mm-hmm.
all the way through, all the stuff that we skip, right? We're like, go to the range, shoot a gun. That's not wrong, right? Go to the range, shoot a gun, buy a gun, carry a gun. You're great. There's a lot of different things people need to consider. So I'm going to take you from the beginning, like when you were sitting in your house
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, maybe I need a gun, right? We're going to walk people through that all the way up to when you start shooting your guns, like
Mm-hmm.
gear selection, all these things. And I know people are used and spoiled to all this information being free on YouTube and things of that nature. But here's where I push back, even against myself, because I was one of the guys that was absorbing all the free content like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, man, with you, and I wasn't part of the getting paid from YouTube crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you consider that YouTube demonetized all gun channels, you
Mm-hmm.
really can't make money on any other platform, not
Mm-hmm.
from the platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So exactly what do we do to support those that go out and spend all this money producing information for us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's where I think that and that's why I don't put up a lot of free trainer videos. Now, if you talk to any of the 1,000 people that have trained with me, they're all like, crap. You can read the review. I normally just share their post on their pages for people to get reviews. But if I'm going to spend 6 to 8 hours producing a piece of content to give out free education, I'd rather put it on my platform and
Mm-hmm.
maybe add for $2 a month, something real reasonable where you're
Mm-hmm.
not hurt. I can still feed my kids, and I can put out high quality content for you to absorb. And guess what? If you pay, you can argue with me. You can disagree with me. What I'm not going to do is spend $400 or $500 of my own money to put something out on the internet and then spend 6 months arguing with somebody that has no investment.
Right. And by the way, just to like clarify something in there, I don't think YouTube has gotten to the point yet where they've demonetized all gun channels. So they are. So it's kind of like we're going through a transitionary period, right? And so that it's in phases. So some gun guys have been completely demonetized and kicked out of the partnership program, and that's absolutely true for those guys. Then a lot of us are still in what they call the partnership program. What they do is a lot of our videos they limit. So they do something called limiting ads, or that's what that yellow coin is. So basically when you get that, not only is it limiting what potential revenue you could get out of that, if any, but it's also suppressing discovery of that video. And that's what's happening to us for anything that we do that's gun related. So typically if I pull out a snippet from this podcast, throw it up over there, or something else where I'm just talking and they feel like that's benign, they'll allow monetization on that. But if the algorithm hears a bang in my video, so if we shoot guns, they're getting smacked upside the head and we have to fight with them on that. I think depending on how politics go here, and if they get the political cover, then that's going to become 100% true. That they'll go, yeah, we're not going to take all monetization away from this. And as a matter of fact, they'll probably deplatform a lot of people in that instance. Whereas now they're pulling that revenue, but letting the folks stay there. But if there's no revenue involved, no one discovers you, and you're very limited in how you could grow. So I'm just, I know you're not like super into this stuff yet because of everything else you have going on, but just if there's anyone out there that has any issues with that. So what are you looking at?
I'm actually trying to fix an issue because Gorilla said he can't order a hat. So
yeah, we got to get that working.
Because they sold out. That would probably be the reason. I tell you one thing, I don't have a problem selling hats. They're actually really, really nice hats. Okay, in respect to the show, Gorilla, I will fix that when I get off of here.
Yeah, give Kevin some time to get that worked out. I'm sure he'll work on that.
But I will. I'm in my store now. I'll get on there and fix it.
Yeah, as soon as we're absolutely. Yeah.
So the only other thing I can say, man, then I'll get into some of the issues I know people want to hear about. I do appreciate the time for me just to be a dude for a while.
No, man, I'm happy to catch up with you. We don't get a chance to talk all the time.
No, that's true. Actually, it said last time I talked to you on Skype, the thing said 6 months ago. That's what it said.
Really?
I don't even think it's been that long. That's what this thing
I don't think so. No, I don't think that's accurate. I think we've had you on this year.
Yeah, I've been on this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I tell Lola to make sure she harasses you to get on here, whether you like it or not. So.
I'm told. I got good sense.
Yeah. Let me get to one thing quickly here. Guy that comments says, "Is there any way to verify monetized gun video?" ? Because almost all videos have ads, but pretty sure that many gun channels are lying. So, like I said, this is like a rainbow of situations. I know for us, there's, I think that a lot of people aren't going to show you behind the scenes. I know for us, like I said, there are videos that are monetized and there are videos that are not. But even videos that YouTube has limited the ads on, that thing saying limited means that traditional ads that everyone else would get on YouTube, a guy who does cars or whatever, you're probably not going to get that. But there's probably still going to be some ads running. Now, I know folks who their channels have been demonetized completely and you still may see ads. This is all up to YouTube, right? And then for sure, there may be some people that are using that as a thing to play games with folks and go, oh, look, I'm demonetized, but there's still something going on. So I think the answer is all of the above with that. And it's really going to come down to whether or not you trust that person and how do they operate with you. I try to be straight up with everyone on everything. Even so for example, you'll notice on my channel, you might see the same video go up a couple of times. Why? they pull monetization off of that video. It suppresses it, and no one looks at it. So recently, I put up a video with Roy from Barnauls, came over to the hacienda, and we found I think at least 5 guns that he's never shot, and we were shooting it. This normally, my channel's 100,000 subscribers. Okay. This video, I think even now, I would have to go look at it right now and tell you guys exactly where it's at. But this video probably has less than 1,000 views. I could say that to you without even actually having looked at it. And what that means is that they have demonetized that video, therefore suppressing the discovery of it. Here, let me just pull it up here for a quick second, so you guys will see with me as I go to it. Let's see, where is that video?
Somebody wants to say hi.
Oh, okay. So here's the video, Roy from Brownell's first time on the hacienda. It's 753 views. So why would that be for someone who has 100,000 subscribers? It's been suppressed. So what's up? The cuteness is back in the building.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Good?
How are you enjoying Atlanta so far?
Yes. How's Atlanta?
Oh,
Good.
Good? Okay.
That's all you got?
That's Where's your brother? Where's your brother?
Right. He's down in his room. The kid has his own apartment. He doesn't like to be
Oh,
bothered.
well.
Yeah, he literally has his own floor.
He's rock and roll. He thinks he's like one of those Run DMC kids or something now, I'm sure.
Yeah, they literally, Kaylin asked me, when did we become rich?
Uh-huh.
It hasn't happened, sweetheart. I really don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that helps, guy that comments, but just take a look at that. So I literally have 100,000 subscribers. There's at least something like 250,000 views on my channel every 30 days. People watch 25,000 hours of video on YouTube/Hank Strange. I'm just telling you guys facts. Okay? So why would I put up a video of us shooting guns with someone from Brownells, and that video has 750 views? And it's been up there for a couple of days. It's because they've, and you might see some ads on it, but they've limited the ads, which therefore limits the discovery of those ads. The biggest way that people see videos on YouTube, for example, is through YouTube itself. So even though, and a lot of those views are from me sharing it on social media and all that, which is kind of doing the same thing. So there is really a struggle out there. I think it's real for some people, and it has to do with like where you are on the scale. But even the big guys are suffering the same way. I see a lot of the guys that have millions of subscribers, they put up something, and they might be lucky that that thing gets 50,000 views, and that may seem like a lot, but not for someone that has millions of subscribers. So,
Correct.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Kevin. I was just trying to keep up with folks' questions out here on things.
No problem, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all that. So just be on the lookout, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this new website launching. I am going to be launching a crap ton of training. I'm going to be really hitting things hard this fall and this winter. Aiming for the Truth is going to be going to new heights. We have some celebrity desire to be involved now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be asking for support from the people, so I'll still be promoting the Patreon, and I'll probably actually put up as a bonus gift. I'll probably put up videos on Patreon as well for people that support can just get a little extra bonus.
Yeah.
And all those things, man, just trying to get adjusted and into the realm of things. I'm actually to a point now where it's easy for me to discuss the issue. So I guess I'll hop into the hot one, which
Okay.
I am so flooded with my opinion and how I feel. And people are always looking for me to slaughter somebody. And, I don't slaughter a lot of people that deserve it because I'm not here to slaughter people. I never talk to a person. I talk to the mindset, right? Attacking a person is pointless. Attacking the mindset, then you address people, right? Not a single person. You waste your energy talking to one guy. So the NFAC.
Okay, the NFAC thing. Okay.
The NFAC thing. One, let me just get this out the way. When people ask me, what are my feelings about their political beliefs before we get to the ND, which I know is what everybody wants to discuss. Here's my thing. I don't agree with everything he says, and I don't disagree with every single thing he said. There are some things that I've heard he said that I haven't been able to find myself, like, things against the Jewish community. I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm saying I haven't heard them.
Right.
That he's had some really radical things to say about the white community, and when we say radical, I mean it to be radical. So, not saying he did or didn't. I just haven't heard them. And what I try to explain to people is this is the reason why I personally, it's nothing against anybody else that does. I personally don't do groups. I just don't. Right? I'm a Christian, but I don't have to belong to a church. I am a gun guy, but I don't belong to any clique. Right? I am a father, but I don't only hang out with married dudes. Like I don't follow myself in around groups, and the main reason is because I'm an independent thinker. I am an institution all by myself. I don't need somebody telling me how to think, and that's just how I operate. Two, I don't want to have to deal with what you say. You say it, now all of a sudden I got to address it because I'm right. Even if I disagree with you, now I got to turn my back.
And we already have to deal with that. And it's not just us. Everyone probably goes through this in one way or another. But we may already have to deal with that just because we're the black dudes out here, right? Right or wrong?
No, that's 1,000%. That's why everybody was like they weren't emailing, people they knew they were going to get a certain response from. We were like, let me see what the black people think, right? Because it's a black dude, it's a black militia, it makes sense. But do I agree?
That's an involuntary group that we're in, and it's not a bad thing. Like I'm sure you are. I am proud to be a black person.
Hell yeah.
I have never not felt that way. I'm incredibly proud of who I am, and I believe in people being proud of who they are.
They absolutely should be. Yeah. I would think weird of somebody who wasn't proud of who they are. Like as far as like where they come from and blah blah blah. Unless it's rooted in some BS and that's whatever. Yeah. But we have to. I think that with that group. So there for politics, I've heard some things. I'm like I don't agree with that. And an example, if you want an example, and he isn't the first guy I've heard said. I mean, we've been hearing this for decades. It's give us a ship and let us go back home. I am home. So
I'm sorry. Who is saying that?
The leader of Impact said that. He said that in one of his interviews.
Okay, you saw that? I never. He said, "Give us a ship and let's go home." Where? Where's home?
Yeah, he said. Well, I don't even know if he used the example ship. Okay. So let me say a little bit, but he did say America needs to aid us getting back home, right? Or that's when you got the Texas thing, or carve us out a piece of land over here and give us Texas, right? So,
like the 40 acres and a mule type of deal, or just
that kind of statement. And look, he's free to say what he wants. I'm just saying I don't personally agree with that, right? Yeah. There's nothing against him. There's nothing against Impact the movement, because what you're not going to get me to disagree with is the fact that it damn near brought a tear to my eye to see all those melanated dudes walking down the street. I didn't even know what the hell they were protesting at first. I'm like, whatever they're doing, the fact that I see that many people of a dark hue walking down the street with guns, I'm with that. Like in concept, in theory, I'm with that.
And I think, I'm not trying to cut you off because I think that for me, looking at what some people, there's no way we can't monitor what everyone's saying out here. But I know I looked at different, like I was looking at Johnny B, for example. I'm just using it for example. I saw Mac from Military Arms channel had something to say on this. A lot of people in the gun community support that. Not just us, because we're black people and we're like, hey, we do have the right. Everyone has the right to be armed, to form a militia. I've seen even people making fun of those guys are like, I support these guys to have a militia and be armed. But have you seen that, or have you seen something else?
No, I can honestly say, like, I hit Curtis up today, VSO, and said, he did a rebuttal video to the Impact Leaders Grandmaster to his, which I'm going to talk about next, his whole, AR, which I would love to demo live, but I can't because of YouTube rules. When he did a rebuttal video to him, and I watched Curtis's video, and then I just text him. I'm like, thanks. And the reason I text him that it was a great video is because he didn't get into all the political banter. He just said, hey, dude, I'm with you having guns. We want you, but I'm just not with you spreading false information, right? So we need to correct said information. We need to get everybody educated. And the biggest point that I've been trying to make, and I was happy to hear him say, I heard Max say it, Mr. Guns and Gear, a couple of people made these points. We can't, it's not about, and I was happy to see that the mature level-headed dudes be able to break it down. It's not about not being armed. That's not even a question. You should be armed. But we can't at the same time, whether you're doing it on purpose or you're just doing it and don't realize that you're doing it, but we can't give anti-freedom type people more ammunition, so to speak, against us, because simply saying that if I sit down with a bolt lock back on a rifle and bump it against the ground and there's a magazine and it feeds one, my head's going to get blown off. Well, I can see that in the campaign ad of some kid finding an AR and bumping it, and the bolt just goes forward and blows.
Or you could see Bloomberg funding a lot of money to them to keep pushing that forward, which would be tragic.
Exactly. So we have to make sure that we are spreading proper information. So just to get off the political thing, look, man, I'm not going to beat that man up about every single thing he says. The fact that they are armed, people did take issue with, they said, he walked up to a vehicle when they were in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Walked up to a vehicle and they were intimidating people with their rifles. So here's what we're not going to allow to happen. Stop being the same media you claim to hate. Okay? Because when I watched that video and I'm talking to that dude in that van, first of all, the dude was laughing at them. Okay. Literally laughing. Nothing about him was scared. Okay. He actually invited a conversation. Okay. He talked to him. He wanted to know, what are you guys doing? And they engaged with him in conversation. He's literally chuckling and being sarcastic. That is not somebody being scared. That is not, oh, you shouldn't intimidate people with your press. Nah, man, shut up. It wasn't that. They weren't out there intimidating anybody. Now, if you want to know more about their political stance, go talk to them. It's the same way that I don't try to get into all the different political stances. Whenever I get all the emails or inboxes about, what about all these white dudes at the state capitals? Aren't they, threatening to overthrow the government? Here's how I feel about what they're doing, which is normally in support. But everything that they say, every political statement they make, I can't back that, because they're not going to say everything out of their mouth is not going to be what I agree with. Yeah. Right? Because you're up there for guns, but what else might you start talking about?
And it's not, so one of the things is, like you said, it's not your organization. You're not a part of the organization. You're not a leader in the organization. So how are you going to be responsible? So there are things, like I know American Gun Chick was on, and she said that this guy said all white people are in the KKK. Okay, that's that guy. That's what he says. Or maybe there's things in there that, we definitely disagree with, but how can, even for us here, how can we have a conversation about that if we're not part of that group? We can come from a point of view where we're at. How can we be responsible? I think even people would understand that I'm not a fan of the KKK, neo-Nazis, or any other thing, but they have the same rights as everyone else. I mean, I saw something, someone sent me this news article today. I don't know if I have it to pull it up, but you guys can look this up. There's a guy who they red flagged, I believe, in California, based on the fact that he's a racist. So they went and took his guns away. Okay, I don't like the fact that he's a racist, but he has the right to be a racist. And if you're going to go take his guns solely because he's a racist, without someone saying, hey, this guy threatened people to do something or whatever, what are we talking about? Because at some point that could be flipped on any of us, right?
Absolutely. You make one video say the wrong thing one way, there you go.
Yeah.
So no, I think that I think that when people have an issue with whatever he's saying, this is what I would like for, and I'm not making this a race thing, but it's a black dude that's very opinionated and has some hellacious stance, right? Like, this is what he's saying. This is what he believes in. This is what his movement is about. Okay, cool. Well, when you come and you say, but they're this and they're that, okay, you start venting how you feel, this is exactly what the black people have been trying to tell you about all these white dudes and what they've been saying for years, right? They are overly aggressive. They got a lot of hate in what they're saying, and now we're seeing a lot of people just seeing it from what they're seeing it from a black guy, and they're upset about it. Well, this is what the black community has been telling you for a while. So when it comes to everything he's saying, I don't have to justify it, and I'm not going to attack the man over it either, because I would have to go listen to everything he said, formulate an opinion, and that's allowing that man and that movement to take over my life.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to, I know Maj has been in talks with them, and they're going to get involved in, I believe, a BGM class for firearm safety. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. If they ever want to understand things about guns, sure, I'm willing to have a conversation with them, absolutely. But I'm not going to ask him all his political views. No different than when students show up to my range. We don't talk politics. I don't need it. Only thing I need to know is, are you homicidal? Because then I don't want you here, right? As long as you're not homicidal, I have probably trained some dudes that have some very, very different views than myself. But we don't talk about that, right? Because it's not the place for it.
Yeah. So one of the things. So I just want to just circle around to what you're saying there. You just said that this is a lot like when there's folks out there who are white and they're saying certain things that are very aggressive, negative, or hurtful, or whatever. And we go to those guys as a community and say, hey, this isn't cool. There are people who go, hey, they have the right to say what they have to say. We don't have to agree with them, or whatever it is, right? Like, this is funny, or there's situations. I saw a situation like that today that was on IG. I didn't get a chance to talk about it because I figured maybe we'll get into it here. Which doesn't matter, but yeah. Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. I think that when there's situations like that come up, and we may say to someone, listen, this bothers me. Why does it bother you? It's just comedy or whatever, right? It's people, if someone does that comedy about a white person, you're not going to be upset about it. Okay, so this is a similar thing. That's what you're saying, right? This is a similar type of situation.
I think that once you get into this is what I've been saying for years, and I know other people say it, stop hiding your racism behind your patriotism.
Okay. Okay. Elaborate on that.
So you're a patriot, you believe in your country, and there's nothing, let me emphasize again, there is nothing wrong with that. One could argue we need more people like that, right?
Yeah, center a little bit more, because it's both of us in the screen. If you can, just like center yourself a little bit. Yeah. There you go. Boom. Yeah, awesome.
So what they've been doing is being so patriotic. Like they're so patriotic that they're allowing the flag to be a blindfold and an amplification for ignorance. Okay. And here's what I mean. So when we say, something is, insensitive coming from, I'm not going to get this dude any shine. I'm just not going to do it. But there was this one page that I came across. He's not huge, but he's, a USPCA shooter. I've been contemplating back and forth if I need to let USPCA know about him. But he's a USPCA shooter. He's got small, gifts from certain companies, some big, some small. And I look at his page, and his, he's speaking about patriotism, and he loves America, and yada, 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 and all this great stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. When you look further into it, I'll just give you an example. Now, this is a page that is followed by some of your most famous and biggest pages. Okay. Even though his following is not that big, the people that follow him are pretty large. Okay. And he's got things on there. He flat out got a post that says, "Hell yeah, I'm a racist."
Wow. And you don't want to. And who is this person? You don't want. Okay. All right.
You got to be careful giving these punks a chime, man. Okay. You got to be careful, But he says that, and one could take that as satire. Maybe he's fighting against it, right? Why? Because I love the Confederate flag, must I be a racist? And it could be that kind of thing, right? But no, when you go read more and more of his posts, his avatar is making fun of a black woman. His comments and the people that he draws in the comment, stuff is just brutal. And one of the ones that wasn't as brutal in imagery, but the caption summed it all up, is this dude and his daughter, man. All right, beautiful pic. The father and his, who am I to ever say something about that, right? I love seeing people with their kids. And then as you look at a couple of pictures, and you're like, oh, beautiful family. And you look at the caption, and it says, I just hope she doesn't grow up to date black guys. And then one of the comments under that was, if she does, I have an excavator, a large amount of land, and plenty of guns. Let me know. And then all the other comments just start coming below that. And I'm looking at who follows this page, and I'm like, but you bastards are the same people that keep talking about unity. You want people, but yet you support open racism. This isn't just a post or two. This is a page full of open hatred and racism that is also advertising gun companies. And you mean to tell me that you believe that because he screams out, I love America, every third post, we're just going to ignore the fact that he's a blatant racist? That's a prime example of what I mean by stop allowing your racism to hide behind your patriotism, because you got these large gun entities that love supporting them. Yeah. Right. But
I completely understand what you're saying here. I wish I knew who this was, man. And I think sometimes people are following. I don't know if you want to tell us who's following this particular person. The problem with it, I think sometimes we follow people, we don't even realize exactly who we're following, right? For whatever reason, we're following that person. I'm not trying to excuse anyone. Look, dude, it could be me. You could tell me if I'm following that person.
Oh no, I would have called you. Like the people that I knew were following them.
Right.
Like I personally know, not just like I know you through the business. Like I know you. I called their phones.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
okay.
So, and the conversation basically went, you make a decision. I will, because one thing about me, I always give people respect. If I know you, I'm not going to go at you online. I'm going to call you. Right? It's out of respect. It's just who I am. But once I call you, and if you double down on it,
yeah, because what you're saying to me, Kevin, is disturbing. It's disturbing to hear that. There's some things, like there's levels of this, right? You know that. There's levels of how people come at other people here. I think the thing that I was initially talking to you about that I saw, and I'm just going to throw it up I know that a lot of people aren't on social media and they don't see these things. The particular thing that I saw, and I'm going to throw it up here really quick. This is what, actually Trenchwork Chronicles posted this, and he reposted it from, I believe it's Tactical Shit. And it says Sex Position 27, the George Floyd. And it shows a man over a woman in illustration, and he has his foot on her neck. Right? And Trenchwork Chronicles threw that up, and we'll probably get into that here in a second and have a conversation about that. That's one thing, and that is disturbing to me. But the level of what you're saying is even more so.
Yeah, man. It's so that is a little bit. It is definitely a little bit different. I'm trying to get you guys an example. I'm talking about off this idiot's page, but that particular post, that's another example. When a couple people DM me like, "Yo, get at these fools, get at them." So I know the owner of that company. Once again, if I see something online and I know you, I'm gonna tell you. If you see something online about me and you personally know me and can call my phone and don't. Then I'm gonna get your ass online.
Yeah.
Right? Let's be respectful. Like, call me. And so I paid him the same respect. I said, and I texted him. I'm like, man, this is really, really tasteless, and the timing couldn't be worse. Like, really. And he made a public statement, so he made it longer than what.
This is the person who owns the company, or the person who we're talking about making these posts.
So the person who owns the company.
Okay.
Right. So.
Oh, you're talking about Tactical Shit.
Tactical Shit put up the post.
Okay. Okay, so we're talking about a different person than we were talking about just now.
No, you're.
I just brought up the Tactical Shit post. Yeah.
It's different from the dude that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right.
Now, not surprising. That same jerk shared the post, but that's not surprising to me at all. Here's the thing. When you put up something that insensitive, that has the nation, I get everybody wants to, like quote Dave Chappelle, it's a joke, not a penis, don't take it so hard, right? I get it. But the same people that want to use Dave Chappelle as a reference, I want you to go back and watch his last comedy special and see how serious he was when he was talking about George Floyd, and point out a joke he made to me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make a joke about that issue. It's not a laughing matter to watch a cop, a government agent, murder a man slowly for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Ain't nothing funny about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I don't care which way you cut it, which way you slice it. There is nothing humorous about that. So you can leave race out of it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing funny about that. Mm-hmm. And what I do believe is this: if you take that exact same kind of feel of that meme and you make it a cop dying, see how pissed everybody would be. See, mm-hmm. It wouldn't be funny. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be funny at all if we were mocking the cop being killed. Mm-hmm. It would not be a joke. Mm-hmm. Then it would be everybody's going after law enforcement. They're all great people. Thin blue line. This is ridiculous. This is going to be Joe Biden's America, and all this other stuff that people want to say. But because it's mocking mm-hmm. a black dude that got killed by a government agent, then we can make fun of it. But if you make it a black dude killing a cop, it wouldn't be funny. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And I will see anybody on that debate. It would not have been funny. Let a cop had just got murdered, right? And we are still going through, or his family's still going through, his department's still going through the mourning process, and they're trying to get over it. Mm-hmm. And then somebody puts up a meme mocking the way he was killed.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that tactical shit, I believe they deleted that post.
Yeah, they took the post down mm-hmm. and wrote up the guy that put it up.
Right. Which, so I'm guessing so what they do is basically sell stuff, right? I'm familiar with them. They sell things. They've probably gotten really big, and they have several people posting on all their social media. So the person who did that, they wrote the guy up.
Yeah. So okay. I don't know, and I know a lot of the guys that work there. Right. But I can't tell you which one posted it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me. I'm sorry. Let me get to. There's a couple things I want to get to here. Let's just try to. Let me just try to do this real quick. Villain Trucker gave us $10. Thanks to Villain Trucker. I appreciate that. Night Train has a comment for you that I'm going to give you a chance to respond to. He says, sorry, KD, but it sounds like you're soft on black racists, but hard on white racists. So I don't know if you want to.
Sorry, you can shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. How about that? And here's why. Because whenever you say that I'm soft on black racists, mm-hmm. here's the thing. I, in conversation, will say a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. So, for example, mm-hmm. the guy that posted his company page that posted the meme today mm-hmm. is called a racist all the time. And I'm the same guy that will go to his office and sit down and talk to him. So if I've been to his office numerous of times, have sat on his podcast numerous of times, and addressed the issues with him openly, unrehearsed, numerous of times, I am also the same dude that has stood at plenty of 2A rallies with Confederate flags flying and dudes talking about, 3%. Hell, I was at one where a dude literally had on a shirt that says, white man's country, everybody else is an option. All this crazy crap. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm standing there mm-hmm. and I am standing in the lion's den, let me explain something to you. I am not soft on any racist. It is not up to me to make you or anybody else, whoever said that dumb shit, it is not up to me to make you feel comfortable with the way that I address things. Because real men that know real people have real conversations off camera. I don't do this for Instagram. If I have a problem with somebody and I know them, I get in their face and we have a conversation about it. Minimum, I get on the phone and we have a conversation about it. There are plenty of people that have been deemed racist that are black. That I know. I have hopped on the phone with them and had a real conversation. Have you seen me make a post about tactical shit? You know why I didn't make a post? Because I was able to call the owner.
Yeah, and so let me just get this in here. I think you got it. So to the question or the comment that Night Train's making here, here's how I look at this. So everyone in the world is how they want to be. Right, and I think you, Kevin, you said you're not in groups. If you were in the NFAC group, you would have to address that on a higher level. And I think in the beginning of this, you said you don't agree with it. Here's one of the things.
But what people, and this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
When it's somebody that looks like you, people expect for you to go to their level of descent, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to impress them, right? And let me make something very clear to you
Mm-hmm.
guys. If you want that, if you are always looking for that type of energy, somebody that's always going to go after the black people hard, you need to go follow Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, the conservative twins, or any of those people,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's where you go get that crap from. You don't get it from me. The same way, you know how much time I could spend going after white people that are openly racist if I wanted to? I'm talking about open. I ain't talking about something that you got to guess about.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't give my energy or time in large quantities
Mm-hmm.
to people that are idiots. That's why I wouldn't even call out the dude and give him the name. If I was so hard about going in on all the white races and I started talking about a 2A page that's supported by big 2A companies and or people, then if I wanted to go hard, wouldn't I have called him out?
Yeah. Well, and the difference I'm trying to make here, is whatever this thing is of the gun community, we're either in it or we're not in it. So when I was talking to Maj the other day about this, I asked Maj when he spoke to Grandmaster Jay from NFAC, did this guy give a crap about the gun community or not? Maj said no. So therefore, he's not in the gun community, and we are. Like I'm here in the gun community. That's what I'm doing. We're talking to you guys. We're working out our stuff. That's what matters, right? Either we are this or we're not. So that's what we have to be responsible for if we're responsible for everything. I'm not trying to say we're responsible for everything. So in a situation like this, Kevin, if something came up, if someone in the gun community was doing something that let's say we're talking about race here, that's something that you could address more. If we're the gun community, that person's in the gun community, you may have direct access to them. You could go, hey, what's up with this? Why are you putting this thing out there? Versus how do you address someone in a completely different group that we're all looking at? Now, if they want to be part of the overall community here and we're all rolling with them, then this becomes a different thing. What we're rolling with is whether or not they have the right to be armed, whether or not they have the right to be a militia, etc. When it comes to the things that they're out there saying and doing, if you want to know what my opinion is, or Kevin's opinion, in the beginning of this, he said, hey, I don't agree. I do not agree with these things, right? And that's why I don't roll with certain, I agree with everything you said. I don't roll with certain groups for that reason. And if you ask me about it, I could say, yeah, I don't agree with that, but I don't necessarily know those people. And how do you get any kind of thing to happen versus we're here in the gun community and we could deal with all the things that we all have to deal with.
And I want to make this very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gave that same kind of response if Night Train was standing in my face. You are
Mm-hmm.
not. And I repeat,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get the opportunity. And it doesn't mean aggression. It doesn't mean fight. It means standing on principles and morals.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get,
Mm-hmm.
because you have easy access to people like this form we're using right now,
Mm-hmm.
you do not get to question their moral integrity by saying they choose to address who is a racist. First of all, where's all the love and attention that I've been giving toward child sex trafficking lately?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that love and attention? So are you going to say that I don't go after one child sex ring as hard as I go after the other? Where's all the attention I've been giving to all this damn normalizing pedophilia lately? Where's all that attention, right? So you don't get to say that somebody is doing a thing. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, everybody has a right to have an opinion. Every single human being walking the earth has the right to have an opinion. The problem is, it is very, very challenging to me for you to sit back and critique somebody when you aren't even making attempts to address the thing that you're critiquing them about, right? So if somebody wants to say, well, NFAC is a group of black racists, and I openly, before we even got into this conversation, said, you know what? I ain't watched all the dude videos, right? I got people telling me that he's made anti statements against the Jewish. I haven't seen them. Because what it will require me to do is go and watch all of his videos
Mm-hmm.
to point out exactly what he said to bring
Mm-hmm.
it up. If you
I don't even want that dude's videos rolling through my YouTube feed.
dude.
That's how I'm personally not into that. Huh?
Ass telling me that I'm soft on anybody, you can take your brave ass right over to his platform and challenge him. What you coming at me for? That's the thing about it. Everybody's accessible. You can go right to that man's page. You don't have to ask Hank, Maj, or nobody else. How do they feel about what he thinks? You know what you can do? You can go right to his YouTube channel, right to his Instagram, right to his Facebook, and say, hey, I disagree with you. I believe that you are a racist for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many reasons you got, right? Go challenge that man on it. But it's the same damn way I don't ask all my white buddies to justify the racist crap that comes out of some white dude's mouth. I don't. I don't tag, any of my popular 2A friends in videos.
And let me. Can I just say this to you? Even if you do, they're gonna have the same kind of reaction as you. I'll be honest with you. So I'll tell you guys this, right? And by the way, Night Train's always here. He's always here on the podcast and everything, and it's appreciated. We're having a discussion. I don't think, from Kevin's part, you could tell me, Kevin, if I know you're a little high strung here on this particular issue. I think you have a right to be, but what I'm trying to do is have this conversation because I think that it's something relative and we should get it out. But let me just explain this to you guys. There's people that you all know, and if I talk that they come on the podcast, and if I say, hey, check this thing out that happened, and they take a look at that, they go, listen, man, that's comedy. They're my friends. Okay? They're a different complexion from me. To them, that's just comedy. It's no big deal. Do I get mad at them now? Do I hate on them? Do I go, you know what, forget it. We can't roll together because you don't see this thing from my point of view. Ultimately, what are you going to do about that? Right? So it's the same. I think it's the same thing here that we're trying to deal with. You might recognize. Kevin's recognizing something. Someone else might not recognize it. I might say to someone, this is offensive. Can you see how that's offensive? No, I can't see how that's offensive. Would it be offensive if that was just all white people in there and they were doing this thing? Right? If they were doing something about Harvey Weinstein and there was a meme, would black people be offended by it? I'm just telling you the response, right, that someone would make. Are they wrong? Ultimately, we're all looking at this situation, including this one here with NFAC, from the outside. They don't want to be part of the gun community. They're not part of the gun community. We're talking about them because we're discussing that particular thing. I think the difference here is we are in the gun community. We are connected to these people, like Kevin is saying. And if he's connected to people, if you're connected to someone, you have some kind of connection to them, and there's something wrong going on here, that's something you could deal with more directly, and you can reach out and deal with that person. If there was someone out there in the black community getting all crazy, you guys would want us. That's what happened with Vada, man. If we were just talking about podcasts, if you go back to episode 1, 613 episodes ago, I had Vada on here because people kept reaching out to me saying, what's up with this guy, right? There were a lot of people in the gun community laughing at him. There were a lot of black people in the gun community upset that people are laughing at him. So from my point of view, I was like, okay, let's have this guy on and have this discussion. And we had that discussion. That's in the realm of something that we could do. Can we do that with this NFAC guy? Can we get him on here and say, hey, did you say this about white people? Did you say that they're all in the KKK? Did you say this about Jewish people? If we can't do it, we're limited to what we could do about that. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I don't think any man is another reason I don't do groups. Mm-hmm. I don't think any man is responsible for what another man says. You need to go address it with that man. I saw somebody in here put a comment that I actually agree with. Mm-hmm. Said I'm paraphrasing because the comment went up now, but it says every day all I hear is racism and it's getting old. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. Even sometimes when I try to break the mold and put up like a funny video with a car, or mm-hmm. Make fun of Fords, or just try to break the ice. Mm-hmm. As soon as I get here, mm-hmm. then all of a sudden, well, now I'm not being hard enough on racists. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean. Like you can't please people, right? So it's like, oh, you know what? It exists. I know what I'm doing to fight systemic injustices. I don't need anybody's approval, mm-hmm. right? I understand what I'm doing. So I don't have to bring that to you every day because I'm going to do my work regardless. In the meantime, we can keep talking about whatever. I'll roll the issues in as I see fit. Mm-hmm. We'll continue forward, right? Mm-hmm. And I always bring mine in an educational, informative way. I mm-hmm. always bring information in that way. Mm-hmm. But to that last silly comment that was made, let's make this very clear. And this is why you're really getting the source of frustration. So here's something that you guys might not believe, but let me tell you what's true. So I just got the dumbass comment that, oh, you're soft on black racists and you're too hard on white racists. Pause. But then I get from the white racists, which I've had several times, being called the N with the hard ER at the end of it, okay? Mm-hmm. Several times. I'm the same guy that's had to have several 2A companies, or not companies, representatives of said companies, take down their IG posts because they were making open, blatantly open, racist comments, and then even hop in my DM and continue with them. Like, it's stupid, right? So we get those kind of people shut down, and you know what? I never brought it to IG. I never brought it to the public. But you know what happens when it's somebody that's black, that people would summarize as a racist? You know what they say about me? I'm a coon, because I'm not hard enough on white racists.
Yeah, there's no winning.
I don't separate myself from all white people.
Yeah.
Because I am promoting the white man's gun companies. So from the white dudes now, it's like, oh, okay, you're too soft on the black races. You're just, you're letting them get away with murder. Blah, 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 blah. And then to the people that will be categorized as black racists, it is, oh, you're a coon and you're too soft on all these redneck racists, 3%ers, blah, blah, blah. They aren't your brothers, they aren't your allies. Look, man, to all of y'all, how about that? Because nobody has to live in a world where they appease to you. I don't have to wake up every day and say, what can I do to make sure that you are okay in your feelings and that I'm saying the things that make you feel good at night? Because at the end of the day, one, racism ain't going over. Period, point blank. It's never going to disappear. As much as we want it to, it is not. It's going to be somewhere in the world existing at all times. Two, to challenge people on how hard they go at it is idiotic, especially when you don't know what efforts they take. You know how many 2A companies I've saved that put up a post that was questionable, that are owned by white people, and helped them manage their way out of it? You know how many people have stood up at public events and said, thank you for helping me out of a bad situation? And these are white 2A owned companies that made dumbass decisions that I helped free of charge.
Yeah. We don't, the moral there is we don't see everything. We don't see everything. I think that
people need to keep as responsible, methodical thinkers, honestly, and with love from my heart. If you don't know, keep that dumb shit to yourself. Right? Because you don't know. And you don't understand how frustrating it is to try to bring a whole demographic of people that identify with you, and then a whole nother demographic of people that identify with you for a different reason. Dads don't identify me just because I'm black. They identify me because I'm a dad, right? People that want to learn guns don't identify me as a black instructor. They see me as an instructor, right? So you got all these different people that look to you for different reasons, right? Different associations. But one demographic of that is absolutely the urban community, right? So they look at me for guidance and information. You want to know how challenging it is to get thousands? Because unlike some people, I just don't do it online. I get out and I work. To bring thousands and thousands of people into this industry, and you know what it's like to get posts sent to you that are distasteful toward women, minorities, whoever, and then you have to be the one that address that because you've got this group chat of 8 people. You're the one that brought them to this side and told them it's about freedom and America and all this history behind it. And they're like, well, can you help me understand this? I thought you said this is a community of trust. You know how hard that is? Right? So if you don't understand the work, if you don't understand what's happening, don't you question me.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people don't. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes you don't see. Sometime around the last time you were on, and I'm not even sure when it was. Right? I remember I had Crispy on, so that's way back. If whoever's keeping track of what's going on there, I had Crispy on. He was here. He's Mexican. We had a conversation. We talked about a lot of things, and then shortly after that, you were on. Right? And someone posted in one of the black groups that's out there, they posted a thing with me and Crispy, and then it had something to do with you, right? Because I believe that I sent you a message about it. And they said, yeah, check out Hank Strange. He doesn't talk about any of the black issues. And they're showing me talking to Crispy, and Crispy had a conversation about Trump Jr. What they don't even realize inside of that conversation, Crispy says he doesn't go with everything that Trump says. We had all of that conversation. Maj Touré came in and halfway through that conversation, and all someone saw was a freaking thumbnail. They saw a thumbnail of that thing, and then somehow you were involved in it. And I reached out to you because I said, "Hey, Kevin," because you came on and we were talking about some tough stuff at the time. And I think I said to you, you know what? It's my bad. I've been too busy to get snippets up of us talking about this, and I'm gonna work on it, right? And then I went out there and worked on it. And I'm just trying to illustrate to you guys what happens, and you don't see it. People don't see things. They didn't tune in for that 2 hours of us talking about all of that. They didn't look at that whole thing of me talking to Crispy and Maj coming in and all of that stuff. But they look at a thumbnail of something and they're making like decisions about what we're doing or what we're not doing. And that's on the other side. If most of the people watching this podcast right now are probably white people. Most of the people who support me are white people. There's lots of black people that support us. We're living in a world where there's more white people than black people, right? In America and in this community. But we're still doing things, and regardless of what we're doing, there's going to be a side that goes, this guy's not black enough. You know, he's not doing this thing. He's not doing that thing. So
I have went, and then I'm going to say this, and I'm going to move on. I want to talk about the ND thing with One, I don't know how much clearer it needs to be, but just for there is a reiteration. I clearly started off this segment of the conversation with saying, I haven't heard everything the dude said, but I even gave examples of things I've heard him say that I disagree with. Right? Said it. One. Two. You are not, and I say you, and I'm talking to people collectively, and it doesn't matter who it's against. You don't have the right to constantly pressure someone to live up to your standards. Case in point, all right? Because I was even avoiding the subject of race. But even when I'm avoiding it, somebody accused me of not being hard enough on a racist, right? So it's not me, I'm trying to avoid it. I'm only bringing up that particular issue because that's what people are concerned about. But even when I try to run around it, no, you want to bring me back to it. How come we just can't talk as Americans? See, there's that hypocrisy right there. So I am, when I'm looking at the controversy that happened with Nick Cannon, right, a couple weeks ago, where Nick Cannon had some things to say about the Jewish community and the white community that weren't appreciated, right? So I'm watching that. Now, I don't own Nick Cannon. I don't know Nick Cannon. I don't control what Nick Cannon says, right? I'm watching the backlash. I watched him lose a ton of money real quick, right? Cool. Nick Cannon doubles down pretty much on his statements, and the community of people that support him are just chanting him on, right? Chanting him on. Then Nick Cannon apologizes to the Jewish community, I believe, who that apology was aimed at. He apologizes to them. Then he started receiving hate from the same people that were just praising him. Nick Cannon
that's how it is.
Went on his own. I guess I don't use Twitter that much, but you can put your location like you can on Instagram. The dude put location, heaven, and then went on to type, and I'm paraphrasing, went on to type, like, I tried to stand up for my people, and I got crucified for it. I tried to be a man and apologizing for saying something that hurt an entire community of people, and now my own people are crucifying me for that. I didn't think the pain could get any worse. Y'all enjoy Earth. I'm so glad that dude had people running his aid, man. You know what I mean? Because people don't understand how frustrating that is. So that's why I'm saying to anybody that wants to come at me with anything like that, if you happen to be a white dude and you want to challenge the way that I go after black racists, stay in your own lane. You go get them. If you happen to be anybody that wants to say you need to go after racists harder, tell you what, you go do it. Why do you need me to do it? Especially when I have an established history of speaking about issues that most people won't even bring up. You don't know what it's like to be me, and don't you dare fucking act like you do. All right? So let's show some respect. Just like I don't jump into people's lives and say, well, it looks like you halfway want to take care of your family. I expect to get attacked for that. That man might be working 20-hour shifts trying to make sure his family is fed. But I see him sitting on his butt taking a lunch break. I'm like, Don't look like you work too hard. Must not care about your wife and kids. I expect for him to jump all the way down my throat, right? Because he understands what he's doing that I don't see. So let's talk about the MD thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's go on to that with the time that we have, because we could burn a lot of time on that particular thing. So hopefully everyone's gotten it out of their system.
Yeah, man. And look, it's not personal. And once again, you never talk to the person, you talk to the mindset. But it is very frustrating for people to constantly challenge you on. You can narrow this down to just being a gun guy. If you don't say everything about a company that might do something anti-gun, you're not a gun guy, right?
Yeah, you can't.
If you don't have everything bad to say about whatever gun company made the industry mad that month. At all, well, you're not attacking them. You're not a true 2A guy.
Yeah.
Man, stop.
Do you ever, so first of all, like me, right? You know that I'm mixed, right? So you know that I'm half Indian, half black, right?
Right.
Okay. You remember the time I joked with you? I told you that I identify as a black guy? Do you remember me telling you that?
I don't know if I do.
Yeah, I think there was some conversation we were having, and I told you that's what I identify as. Here's the thing. For me, that's what I look like. That's what I feel like. That's what I am. But I actually have relatives that are Indian that they get mad about that. That's a really subtle thing. A lot of people won't understand that. Like, what are you talking about? Right? Because if you look at someone who's Indian, there's not a massive difference, right, with someone who's black. There's very dark-skinned Indians, there's very light-skinned Indians, all that kind of stuff. But there are people who are my relatives that are actually upset about that. I've actually gotten into arguments about that where people are like, no, you're Indian. This is what you're in this thing and that thing. It's tough, man. You can't win. Us as human beings, we can't win. And every other human being is looking for a win. I think especially now, especially today in these times that we're going through, the pressures that everyone's under with the lockdown and a lot of other things happening, everyone's looking for a win. But when everyone is looking for a win, everyone's going to lose. Everyone's going to lose. It's not necessarily about. So here's the things I don't want to. I'm not giving up the Second Amendment. Okay? I'm not burning down the Constitution. The other things we don't necessarily need to win all the time.
Yeah, I think people need to grow up. And here's the other thing too. Where's the empathy for all the people, no matter what the issue is? It could be guns, it could be some finances, economics, whatever everybody's passionate about different things. Where's the empathy or sympathy for the individuals that are out there taking the hits to push your belief? Where's the empathy? Why do we spend so much time criticizing them instead of supporting them? Right? When was the last time you shared their video? When was the last time you jumped on a post to defend them? When was the last time you donated money to their cause? I know what you'll do. You'll sit back and wait for something that you might disagree with, and you critique them. No, that's not right. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's get to the ND. Let's get to the ND. We'll have Kevin. Plus, Kevin is going to do this. And you could go over to, when he's doing this thing, you can go over there. I don't know how he's going to run it. He might have a little trap door.
But I'm not going to bring anything on YouTube. I know better. I don't get the channel in trouble.
Yeah.
But the leader of Impact, Grandmaster Jay, put out a video that has went viral and has many responses.
Yeah.
Where he was trying to describe the ND that happened in Louisville, Kentucky. He did say that it was an old Winchester 20 gauge shotgun that would fire when dropped. Now, I will tell you guys, there are older model shotguns that if you drop those things, they will go off.
Yeah,
okay?
And I'll try to roll in a little bit of that while you're talking of the video that he put up, but I'm sure you guys have seen this particular video already, right? I mean, who in the gun community hasn't seen it yet, where he comes out with the AR? That's what we're talking about here, right?
Can you play that? Because he's got a gun in it. Can you play that on
here? Yeah, I could play videos or show pictures.
So when he was describing what happened with the shotgun, he decided to use an AR-15 as an example of what would happen, even if it was an AR. He's like substituting the guns out. And he called the AR-15 a bullpup. And then he said, because it has a lot of kick, it will knock you on your rear
This
end.
was very offensive to me as a bullpup guy.
And I'm kind of like, and this is nothing against him personally,
right?
But the instructor in me is like, train gun. What? No. no, sir. That is not absolute. No, sir. We can't. No, that's not true. And then when you go on to explain, what he's trying to basically talk about is a slam fire, right? We have to understand that those things theoretically, potentially, if you have all the right mix of all the bad things in the gun world, maybe it could happen one out of a gazillion time, maybe. But to follow it up with, it happens every day in basic training, and it doesn't, dude. And this has nothing to do with the politics of it. It has everything to do with the fact that we can't allow misinformation to be spread by anybody when it comes to firearms. And it's just about proper education. It is not an attack, once again, on the individual. It's addressing the mindset, which is my mantra. So we have to be able to go out and talk about those things in a fair and open manner. Now, I mentioned before, there are some people that I appreciated the way they responded to the video. And just for clarity, Mr. Guns and Gear was one, Mac was another, and Curtis, VSO, was another, right? Because they did the response, but they did the response in a way to address the factually wrong information. They didn't attack him as a person, and they let the knowledge be the guidance of the video. Here's the misinformation. Here's the correct information.
Yeah, and
right?
some people did memes. Our friend Babyface P did a meme. I don't know if you saw it or not. I did repost it. But listen, I looked at his meme. It was not. It wasn't. He didn't go at those guys in any way that I think that was hurtful. He was just making fun of calling an AR a bullpup, and that obviously if you close the bolt on it by hitting the butt on a table or anything else with your hand, it doesn't go off. He didn't, to me, go. And so people did memes and things like that, and some people came out and actually try to explain that for informational purposes to folks out there, right?
Yeah, I'm not mad. Look, if somebody says something out of their mouth that's factually wrong, I'm not trying to defend you from the internet. You fight the internet. I'm not. Right? Yeah, so memes are to be expected. I mean, we all seen the picture of the Jam 22, right? Today I got a picture of a woman holding a rifle with an optic on it and some kind of mounted laser sitting right in the middle of the optic in front of it, so it was blocking the view of the optic.
So these are pictures from the NFAC group?
This picture from NFAC. I've also seen one where the dude from NFAC clearly had his optic mounted on backwards. I cannot save you, nor am I going to try to save you from that. They are learning lessons to be acquired. Now, you also can't be overly sensitive. Now, this is where the balance is at. I'm not ever going to say, because a black group made the mistake, you can't poke fun at them.
No. Dude, okay, I said this yesterday. Kevin. Do you remember when the general said fully semi-automatic? Do you remember that thing? Remember it was an Army general, white guy. Yeah. He said fully semi-automatic. Everyone made fun of him. The black people, the white people, everything in between. If we're gonna look at that way. Do you remember when Costolutis, when he was in Japan? Chris Costa was in Japan and he was using the airsoft. He was on the runway and he was doing all kinds of tactical moves and flipping around. Do you remember that one?
I remember it, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Everyone was memeing that. This is what happens.
Yeah, like the instructor happened to be a white dude that was with a 44 mag. He was in a range with, had in a single action trying to instruct the students, and he was holding it out, and that sucker, it was a single action and went off and smacked him in the face.
Yes, okay, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a police officer, remember the police officer that was in the classroom with the kids, and he was like, I'm the only one qualified?
Shot himself with
the funniest thing from the NFAC video is when he said, these idiots, he was cursing, let me show you how stupid these idiots are. Famous last words. That was the meme to me. Personally. If I memed it, I would have chopped that up into a rap song. But whatever.
Now that's where I come and say, look, guys, you don't get to be extra sensitive because people are making fun of somebody that you agree with their movement on.
Yeah.
Like, you do something silly with guns.
Yeah.
Say something wrong.
We're going to get at you. And by the way, Guns and Gear is in the chat. He says this. He said he was my old commander and I roasted him. I think he's talking about the general guy.
Oh, that's hella funny. What's up, Mike? That's hella funny.
Yeah. So that we all got in on that, and it was all good. He deserved it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
the only reason I haven't done any memes or anything like that is because the internet is saturated with them.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, too late. Everybody's already ahead of it. And
Yeah.
B, it's the instructor side of me is always like, okay, there's an opportunity for education. So no matter who it is, like you can't go back once and find anything of me making fun of Otto.
Mm-hmm.
I never did.
Mm-hmm.
I never did. One, because I could call him. And once again, it's that respect thing with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I can reach you, I'm not going to talk about you online unless you know I'm about to talk about you online. Then if it's just good fun, I'm going to have fun with it. But, normally I just, I don't know, man. People need to learn how to, in some situations, relax, let people have a good time, and you don't get to say because you look like the person and they're making fun of the fact that their gun is jammed or optic is on backwards or somebody called a full length. I think that was even a 20-inch rifle. Somebody called something like that a bullpup, and then they get made fun of, and it can be used as educational reference to correct the misinformation. Then all of a sudden you get to hide behind race. No, you was wrong, and the world let you know. Period.
That's how it is. If you mess up, if you Kevin Dixie mess up, I know we're friends and I could call you and everything, and I'll call you, but I'll get at you. We've memed you while you were on the show. Remember that with donks, right? With the big spinners. Yeah. It's how you're doing this and how you're coming at it. Are you doing this? Are you doing this deliberately to hurt someone's feelings, or are you just having fun? There is a line. We can all feel where that line is, and that's the important thing. And I think in this case, as we've said here so many times, these guys most people support what they're doing. They're saying some bad things, some wrong things. They're rubbing people the wrong way, but they are the ones who went out and did this. We didn't make them do it. They went out and did it. So we're all talking about it and having a conversation, and ultimately people are trying to help them. Have you reached out to those guys and tried to help them or anything like that?
I have not had a conversation with him personally. And to be honest with you, before I engage any man in a conversation, I kind of want to know what I might be approached with in the conversation. So I have to go back and even do research on his stances. For example, a prime example is this. And I'm just paraphrasing what I believe I heard you say. And if Maj indeed made a reference that he doesn't believe that he is a gun guy or cares about gun rights, then I'm cautious, the same way I'm cautious about, say, BLM, right? That movement, the movement, the sentiment is fine. The organization is all jacked up, right? So if I jump out and say, yeah, let me help you and let me support you, and then you confirm to me that, you really don't care about gun rights, then I'm probably going to pull back. Yeah. Because
you're wasting your time. We don't need you to waste your time on something like that.
And what happens if, I don't know this man, I heard he said he's financially well off. That might be true. But what happens is if an influx of cash that's all about maybe disarming people, right, come through, and because you're not pro-gun, you go with it. Like, I don't know. So that's why I'm like, we have to be cautious. So if I talk to Maj, and Maj's like, yo, dude ain't really with the gun rights, then I'm going to train you or help you get exposed to more information just for you to be on the fence about whether we should even have the guns that are in question. Like,
yeah. Well, and what Maj said, just to clarify again, right? I asked Maj outright. I said, the first thing I want to know, do these guys care about the gun community, in large? Do they care about us? Do they want to be part of us? And Maj said no. That was
be a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I retract what I said. But if he's now, I think the gun community thing was real clear when he made, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something about 3%ers and something else. So I don't think he cares about unification of the gun community. I don't think that's in that dude's agenda, right? But at the same time, there's this balance, right? If it gets to a point, maybe his views change in a few weeks. I don't know.
And also, look, like, if he believes in the Second Amendment, we believe in the Second Amendment. We're not coming off of that. It's for everyone. We're not going to sit around here and say who it's for and it's not. If he believes in it and this is how he's going to practice it and he wants to be like this, how different is that when the couple in St. Louis, which we didn't get into, and I know we're over 9 o'clock here, but this is your territory. I was talking about you when the St. Louis thing went down. When that happened with that couple in St. Louis, and I said these guys have no discipline, they're not trained. Everyone was like, they don't need to be trained. They don't need none of this kind of stuff, right? That's what people said to me. I had an argument here with Walter and Babyface about it. They're like, they're fine. They survived it. Nothing happened to them. Okay. Then we found out these guys had a fake pistol and the AR-15 wasn't even loaded. And you're getting into a conflict. You're making steps to get yourself into a conflict that you didn't actually have a real way to get out of other than fronting, right?
Nope.
Other than
and not ignoring the part that the woman, fake pistol, finger on the trigger, waving it at the crowd, you could have been shot. And it would have been justified.
Some bad things would have happened. So they separated from each other, all kinds of things. And I brought you up. I said, Kevin Dixie, I remember you talking to me about something that happened in St. Louis. And you thought these guys people were coming to your neighborhood. You went outside. You had your gun on a sling or whatever. You were ready, but you weren't looking for a fight.
No. So I've had to, and people kept asking me, well, how would you handle it if unwanted people crashed into your community? Been there twice, homie. What else you got? Right. So. When the 2 times where I had to deal with people running chaos, one was in Ferguson, all right? So we all remember how chaotic that was. And the other one was in a neighboring county called Florissant, which is where I was living at the time, all right? So in both situations, I'm outside, full kit, slung firearm, right? Long gun. Prepared for anything that might go wrong. One case, I got a cop's house surrounded that happened to be a personal friend of mine. He's got 7 dudes, 3 handguns, 4 AK-47s, saying they're about to murder him and his entire family simply because he was a cop. That's right. So I love the anti-police rhetoric that I get when I literally left my home to go into Ferguson to rescue a cop and his family. That's fun. Did that. He happened to be a black cop too, in case anybody wants to crucify me for rescuing a cop. There you go. Go ahead and get me for him being black too, because black people will say you shouldn't help cops, and maybe if I say he's black, they won't call me a coon. Then in my own personal neighborhood, once again, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? The local the local news thought it would be a great idea to show a map of all the areas by zip code that do not have police services because of all the chaos.
Okay.
Right?
Genius. Yeah.
So I'm up and I kept keeping my house prepared. So I'm up, and all of a sudden, your neighborhood, when you hear weird noises, certain dogs that don't bark are barking, stuff like that. So I go out of one of the exits of my home, go around my house, all right, get into a nice position of cover where I still have plenty of visibility, and I see vehicles, headlights off, and I see silhouettes of bodies jumping out, minor communication. I hear them rattling fences, and I know they're about to go into some homes. This is about to happen. Right? So what happened then is a nice strobe feature and a slamming bolt. And all you saw after that, now this is all with the rifle and the round. All you saw then was a bunch of silhouettes back in the cars, and the cars going in reverse back down the street. There is a way to do everything. Not to excuse that because you disagree with the political stance of the protesters is idiotic. Okay, if the man would have had his rifle on a proper sling and would have just walked outside with it over his chest, never would be having this conversation. If the woman would have Missouri's an open carry state, fake gun and all, she would have just put on a holster and tucked her shirt in and put that gun in the holster and went outside. Same message.
Yeah. Now I'm getting comments of people saying that they're on their own property, which that
does not give you the right to point guns at people. Let me make it very clear for you. If I'm now, I know the protesters were there, and I love, ironically, how everybody defends. And I'm not saying they're right. I'm never going to be okay with people destroying property. Like, that's not something I'm ever going to be okay with. However, the reason the protesters were there is something that everybody needs to know. Long story short, they went to the mayor's office a day or 2 before with a list of demands that they wanted to see. They wanted to defund the police, and they had an idea where they wanted the money to go. Okay. These are the people she chose to be the mayor of. They have a right to go to their mayor's office with whatever demands, and we don't have to agree. Okay? They go down there to her place of business. She comes outside her place of business, and they exchange information, they exchange ideas, and they leave. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's accosted. It didn't even really make news. There was really nothing to report. She goes back into her office and doxes all of them. She was on with a reporter on Facebook Live, and doxes all of them, right? And does it in such a cruel way. It's slick, but what she was doing was intimidating. So they said, "Oh, so we try to come to your office, we try to have a conversation with you, but then you go instead of just saying, no, guys, I'm not going to do that. I disagree. You decide to intimidate us and give out our full names and addresses. Okay, not a problem. So this time we come into your house." So they went to a political figure's home that was trying to intimidate her constituents. By the way, she's big anti-gun, doesn't even believe AR-15 should be allowed in St. Louis city limits, has turned city parks into daycares, so you legally can't carry a gun into a city park. All this. I just want you to know who you're supporting before you support her. She lives behind that gate. And they said, I don't give a damn where you live. You want to be tyrannical, we come into your front door. And that's why they went through the gate. So understand whether you agree or disagree, understand a little bit of the backstory. Now, for people that are saying, oh, I would have did the same thing, let me tell you something. Understand the political climate. Kim Gardner, okay? And like Hank said, remember, I'm from the city, 40 years, know the environment. Right? Kim Gardner is not necessarily the most pro-police prosecuting attorney. All right, she won't prosecute cases by.
Is this who's trying to who's in the process of pressing charges or taking these guys pressing charges against the couple?
Right. So now, but here's what people have to understand. One, we're not talking about a Hank Strange or a Kevin Dixie. We're talking about multimillionaire surgeons, surgical lawyers. Rather.
They're lawyers. Well, yeah, I think they're lawyers. But the gun was one of the guns that was inoperable because they were using that in a lawsuit against a firearms company.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
But when they go outside and do whatever they do with these guns, first of all, we all understand that money makes things go away. How many pro athletes have we seen commit vehicular manslaughter and be back on the field or the diamond or whatever in a couple of months, right? Money makes things happen. Two, the political climate, you have a mayor that is friends with these people who are connected, who lets the state attorney know, right? Yo, we need you to be ready to override whatever come out of this woman's mouth. Gardner says, yeah, we're going to press charges. However, we're not going to ask for any kind of jail time or anything like that. We just want them to go to a diversion program. It's basically like anger management. All right. So we just want them to go through this program and then we'll wash our hands of it. Now, cool. So for people that want to use that as an example of how you can get off, just answer me this question. How well connected are you? Who lives inside your gated community? How many millions do you have? What are the laws of your state and what's the political climate? Because I told everybody from the beginning, they're going to be charged and they're going to be. I told them, right? But they absolutely broke the law. You can't allow people to break the law because you disagree with the political stance of the victim. Like, that's silly. Can't.
Yeah. Ultimately, the way I look at this, I'm not looking at this. I don't care, black, white, Democrat, liberal, Republican, gun person, or whatever. I think the facts are the facts here, right? So we can look at the facts and see what everything is. Ultimately, it's one hot mess. That's what it is to me. It's a hot mess, and fortunately for everyone, everyone really skated on this one. No one actually got hurt. Those protesters didn't go after them.
They didn't damage any property.
Yeah,
except for anybody property.
Yeah. So the thing is, at the end of the day, what I think is happening here in a lot of different situations, like I said earlier, we're all looking for wins. We're all looking for heroes, and everyone's trying to pick on our side. On our side, a lot of people might say these guys are heroes. And on the opposite side, a lot of people might say, oh, the protesters are heroes, or the prosecutor that's going after these guys are heroes. And the people who are getting played is all of us in America. That's what's happening here. All of us are getting played. And ultimately, the facts are the facts. I don't want anyone messing with the Constitution. I don't need anyone to mess with the Second Amendment. I don't want anyone using these things as reasons. I was looking at what Colio Noir had a video recently about what went down in Austin, right, in Texas, with this young kid who had a girlfriend. He was white, she's black. They're doing a BLM protest. He has an AK. He's bragging that no one's going to mess with him. And then somehow he gets into this altercation with a car. I think it came out today that the driver of the car was an Uber driver, but he's also in the military. I believe he's a sergeant in the Army. And he felt threatened when this guy came at him with the AK. These are all messes. These are all messes that we have, and ultimately people are trying to use these as reasons and excuses to say, you know what, we need to take these guns away from people. That's when we're all going to be in trouble.
I think that you're absolutely right. And that kid, I believe his name is Garrett. I saw the news clip too, where he was like, I think he said most people that have an issue with us are too scared. I'll just summarize to actually get out the car and do something. And from what I read, he never fired his AK, but he might have brandished the driver, which the driver responded, which lawfully he all right.
You or I would probably respond in that same way, hopefully.
A rifle at me, put a slingshot at me, and we might have a bad day, right? Like if a slingshot with some bleach balls or an explosive, I mean, yeah, people out there using all kind of stuff. So I get, I'm not saying that the guy didn't respond correctly. What I want to caution people about is talking about the issue and what happened is one thing, but just remember, the more and more that we kind of go misguided with it, then it's going to turn out to be, quote unquote, a good shoot, right? Lawfully a good shoot to propaganda that is used against us to take away our firearms, like Hank said. So it's all about thinking about the long game, all right? Because we're only, what are we, November, we're 4 months?
From elections, when's our elections? November 3rd or something like that, yeah. So August, September, October.
Yeah, so 4 months, give or take.
Yeah, probably three, a little bit more, over 3 months.
We got to be, just got to be careful about it. I personally, I know that some people did, make light of the fact he was kind of making some tough guy statements one moment, dead a few minutes later. I get it. I get it. I'm not overly sensitive about it. I get why people would make a joke out of that. Okay. To me, I'm like, I'm just gonna.
We need to teach each other right. The family of that guy, the family of that young man, and even his girlfriend, they don't have that dude now. And so a gun alone doesn't make you a badass and can't keep you alive. Okay? If you don't have any kind of understanding of what you're doing, he walked away from his girlfriend in a wheelchair to go get into that. Is this the purpose of why you're getting guns? You can get guns for whatever reason you want. I just said I support the Second Amendment. But there's something missing here, and I don't want anyone to regulate this. There's something missing here, some kind of education that people are not getting. Why are you doing this? Why is this thing giving you a license to do stupid things? Okay?
Education isn't sexy.
Okay.
Everybody like this Garrett kid, right? You can tell he never spent time with anybody who knew guns, right? And he got a gun, and one of his first statements, because he said he had just bought the thing, right? And then he goes on to say that, yeah, people are punks. They don't want to talk to us. So you're using the gun as a tool of intimidation. Already you started off wrong, kid. Already you're wrong, right? And then what happens? You surround a car that you just think is an Uber driver.
You run up against the wrong dude.
With his firearm on him, all right? You're surrounding his car, and if you brandish that gun at him, I can't tell you that I would have spared you in the same exact situation, right? You're standing outside my car with a long gun. You clearly, by your videos earlier, were using it as a tool of intimidation, and you paid the ultimate sacrifice. What people should realize and understand is that education with firearms is required. Hell, look at the individual that fired 3 shots at the cars that was driving away. You're wrong as hell too. You're firing at a fleeing vehicle.
Do you even know who's in there? I mean, but here's the thing. I think, like you said, and I don't want to keep, I don't want to keep you running too long here. This is just not sexy stuff, man. And you know what? You know what, Kevin? That's the reason why we have these conversations. I'm trying to just remind everyone of this. Like, the sexy stuff is over on Hank Strange. Lots of people doing sexy stuff, and then also there's lots of people trying to have these conversations with you guys. Everyone's trying to do it in their own way. Kevin Dixie's trying to do it in his way. There's lots of people. I saw Mr. Guns and Gear here. I know he's trying to do it in his own way, but we're trying to have people talk about this. I would rather you talk about this and even fight about it than to actually wind up this kid, where you're just a headline now. You're just a moral in the story now.
But I want people to understand that the same people, and it's just about mentality, man. Mm-hmm. The same people, which I'm one of them, mm-hmm. that understand, but I'm not one that praise it, but understands mm-hmm. why the guy in the car shot this kid, Garrett. Remember, you're also the same people mm-hmm. by theory and intimidation with a gun that are okay with the McCloskeys getting shot. The St. Louis couple. Mm-hmm. You don't point guns at people that don't need to be shooted. Period. There's no other way around that. Mm-hmm. One of the cardinal safety rules: never point a firearm at anything you're not willing to kill or destroy. Right. Mm-hmm. So you aren't willing to kill mm-hmm. the individual you're leveling that gun at. You should not have their gun leveled at them, and the law better be behind you and support you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I get education is not sexy. We all graduated high school. We don't want to sit down and listen to anybody anymore. We got it. We got YouTube at our leisure. But you guys that have never had any kind of formal education over your state laws or any formal training on the range, I'm just telling you, man, you might want to go do that.
Yeah, by the way, I know my microphone, hold on, let me talk here. I'm going to fix the microphone right now for everyone that's like, Hank Strange, you better fix that mic. How's this? Is this better? Let me know. Is this better right here? Okay, I know because I get loud. That's what the problem is with this. Right. Lola just said right. I am standing back, Lola. I just got a big mouth. Okay, I will work on that. We'll get it fixed. I'm trying to dial it back here. Let me see. Let me know if this is better. I'll even dial it down a little bit more. Let me know if this is like too far that I dialed it down. Listen, get a couple of things. Kathleen Music Lover said, when someone points a gun at you, how do you know they will not pull the trigger? There you go. Clint Sanders says, please fix the mic. So there you go. James Miller says, so Armament Access says, sounds good. James Miller says, I appreciate you having these conversations, Hank. Thanks to you, Lola, and the guest this week. Okay, so there we go. Kevin, we're probably going to run here, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to let these folks know if they want to continue these conversations with you, if they want to help you out, support you, all that kind of stuff. Where do they need to go?
Please come follow me at The Real NOC on all the platforms. Only thing different is on Instagram is at @TheReal_NOC. Mm-hmm. But every platform is the same. You can also search Kevin Dixie. I'll come right up. Be looking forward to the website being launched. We're gonna the nootherchoice.net is gonna be kind of self-contained with everything that we offer. Mm-hmm. I will be posting links, especially on my Instagram and probably on my Facebook, places where you can go get merch and different things like that. To come out. We even got some cool things for you cigar smokers.
Oh boy.
Which I didn't get a chance to promote.
You could have sparked up that cigar, man. I would have had no issues with that. I don't think you two.
But I was like, I wanted to give my.
The last time you were on here, you were smoking a cigar, I thought, because you were in some kind of garage. I don't know if you were in Atlanta already.
Oh yeah, I was in my house while we were packing up, moving. I was sitting out in my garage.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you can get all kind of little goodies, but like for you guys that are into the stogie lifestyle, like we got cool little things like this. We get you a little.
Oh, nice.
So that kind of stuff. So we'll have all this lifestyle
nice,
stuff. I am going to.
I like that actually.
On family products too, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I think most people like to get out in the backyard and grill up a little something. Get to grill up a little something. So we may or may have some NOC supported and branded grill options coming out for you.
Really?
I'm from the home of the barbecue, man. Got to teach you boys what it's about.
Wait, hold on a second. Barbecues from Missouri?
St. Louis is the home of barbecue and blues, baby.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't care what those fake Kansas City people tell you. Okay, St.
That's
Louis.
yeah. I got to check with Big Mo on that. I got to check with.
I don't care what Big Mo say. St. Louis. Blues and barbecue. We don't do
Okay.
nothing else but the two. We say it all the damn time. We know how to eat.
Right. Obviously.
It's two things we can do very well.
Mhm.
And I would like to say this:
Mhm.
please come support, engage, and look. Don't take what I say personal, because I'm always addressing the mindset. I'm never attacking a human being, but I do mean it when I say that we should be very cautious about how we want to box somebody in who is volunteering. All
Mhm.
right, their voice, their likeness, their
Mhm.
energy, sacrificing being with their families, spending tons of money to get out and fight for the fights that we believe in.
Mhm.
We are not content creators, are not elected officials, man. People that use their voice, don't get paid by the government to do it, in this realm of things. So let's be a little bit more supportive. I'm not saying you don't get the challenge, but let's just be a little bit more supportive of the people that are out there doing it, and that are taking all the hits. And to Hank's point, doing work behind the scenes that you might not see.
Mhm.
So let's just be a little bit more mature in that aspect of how we approach things. Other than that, man, come engage with me, come follow me, come have a good time. We're going to be having some good training going on around the country. So stay tuned for that, because we will be going to, actually, Hank, we're coming to, well, South Florida. We got two
Mhm.
classes coming up in Florida, I believe, one in September, one in October. In Florida, we also have Virginia getting on the books, South Carolina, Georgia, Missouri, working on Arizona, and working on Texas. So there will be
When you're
training.
coming to Florida, hit me up. Come on, whatever will help you promote it. I can't promise that I would be there just because stuff's crazy. I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but I will definitely help promote that. Gorillas and Guns says, "See you tomorrow night. The real NOC. Looking forward to it." I think you're doing something with Gorillas and Guns tomorrow.
And I appreciate his patience, man. I had family pop in on me last week, so I had to
Hmm.
cancel on him.
Hmm.
Yeah, he reached out to me, asked me to be a guest on his podcast. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to getting on with him. But I'm gonna tell him something right now. We gonna have to talk about your Saturdays, man. Now I love you, brother, but we got to talk about Saturday
Well,
nights.
I hope he
Like I'm
appreciates getting you because I know he was also trying to get me on board with that. But it's really rough for me to do this all week like this, and I've got to come in here and everything. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. I know you will represent though. So the other, go ahead.
Um, and look, to anybody else out there that has a channel,
Hmm.
I am not. Let me say this. And John asked the question, do I have a YouTube channel? Yes, it's at The Real NOC.
Hmm.
Same thing, John.
Hmm.
Let me say this to anybody out there. Um, and I mean this wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
When I wanted to have a voice, especially in the beginning, I got on my own and started doing it. But it were
Hmm.
people like the Hanks of the world, and several other people, the New
Hmm.
Wars of the world,
Hmm.
several people that jumped out there and gave me a hand up. I am not ever going to look at the size of your platform and determine whether I'm going to come interact with you. If you have a show, you have a platform, and you want to have a productive conversation about whatever, email me
Hmm.
or DM me. Okay. My email is nocccw@gmail.com. You don't have to write a whole paragraph kissing my butt about, will I come on? Give me a
Hmm.
date or options for dates. Let me tell you guys how to get through to people that run around in this crap all the time. So clearly state what you want. Okay. Um, if it is a show, give me dates and times, and let's just go from there. And
Hmm.
what stuff I need to do it. But reach out, man. There is no ego with me. I'm more than willing to come on anybody's platform and discuss. I've gotten several communications saying that, hey, man, I only have 1,000 followers, but I would love to have you on. Look, dude, I ain't that guy. Just because you only have 1,000 followers has nothing to do with the impact of your message.
Hmm.
Let's talk. Reach out to me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Flying Rich wants to know where in Florida that you.
Miami area in St. Augustine.
Okay.
So Miami for one, and then St. Augustine, I believe, for the other.
Oh,
And
okay.
I know one will be in September, and then one will be in October. The one in October, I believe right now is tentatively set for a range called Homestead.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, if he knows where that's at.
Yeah, there you go. And D Head says, put me down for Georgia class. Shout out to everyone. Ebony J says BBQ, South Carolina. 13C Joe says dry rub
Get out of here, South Carolina. I
uh,
just asked for South Carolina barbecue because I train up there a lot.
uh-huh.
Shout out to South Carolina Gun School. Chris Laus is my brother.
Yeah.
Um, hey, whoever said that about South Carolina, look, man, y'all do a couple of things well. Cotton
Oh boy.
and football.
Hmm.
Keep making jeans and keep us entertained on the college field. Other than that, don't come with no disrespect, bro. Barbecue, really? Come on, man. Y'all do fried okra, though. I will give you that. Y'all fried okra, okay. All right. But I had some banana pudding and some brisket and some pulled pork.
Why are you even starting this war?
I don't know, man. He started. I was just
Yeah.
simply making a statement of facts,
Yeah.
and he tried to refute my facts. I'm just saying.
Yeah, at Guns and Gear says you and Big Mo Cason. So there you go. Yeah. I'll just leave that there. Listen, please do support Kevin Dixie. I agree with him that what folks like himself and other guys out here are doing is not super sexy, but they need your support just as much as anyone else. I mean, if you look around, I love like all the people who are doing this stuff, and I partake in everything out there, entertainment, all that stuff on all the different levels. But folks like Kevin Dixie really do need your support, you know. So if you're not doing the super sexy stuff, you don't necessarily get that support. Try to find a way to carve out a little bit of that support for folks like Kevin Dixie, please. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone, go to hankstrange.com, get up on the email list. Thank you to Franklin Armory for helping us do all of this. I'm going to drop the end. Stay right there, Kevin. We'll drop the end. We're somewhere close to the end right now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you can be notified. We are going to rip out the audio here and put that up on iTunes and other places that you guys listen to your audio podcast. Thanks so much to everyone out there. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Kevin Dixie, thank you so much for coming on, man. I know it's crazy. It's busy. The family right now, you're taking time out of family time here to hang out with us. We appreciate it. Hope you guys stay safe and have fun in Atlanta. And I hope there's a room up there somewhere that has a plaque that says the Hank Strange Room. Just let me know when it's ready.
But I do have this. You can see it. You see that beautiful thing there?
Yeah, the painting?
Yeah.
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 The truth?
I got Yeah. There you go.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're out of here. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We're out. We'll see you. Kevin, what's the last word? Last word.
Look, man, be peaceful. Love everybody. Stay physically safe. Stay emotionally sane. Do right by others. Have a kind heart. Live by your morals and your principles, and be a good person.
Amen. We're out. Peace.